we showed you earlier had it really big. So ours is always going to be an estimate. There might be actually a lot of hail in that hail core, which might be the reason why ours is kind of blown out a little bit too much. But again, we're watching this storm that's got a history now over the past couple minutes of producing some really good looking velocity couplets on the radar. And so this storm is definitely a powerful storm. But as you can see, we've got the area highlighted where the area of circulation and where that tornado would be. As you take a look at what it looks like on reflectivity, you'll see that it's, well, it's maybe not exactly as rain wrapped as what it looked like just a little bit ago. I'm going to kind of zoom in a bit more, and then once I do that, then once Conrad's good to go, then we'll switch it over to Lynx 1, just not yet. But you can see that we've got, we see that we got a little bit in the way of a little inflow notch right there by the Dane area. So that is where that little notch would be. But again, we've got a large storm here. Not only does it have just a tremendous amount of lightning with it, we've got the tornado aspect of it, and it's just also got a lot of hail, and it might be increasing more and more in size. Now, what this is showing here real quick is the different pixels there signify what the worst weather is at that one point based on the radar. And so you've got, large hail and also strong winds. Let's see if that's going to be faster winds. Yeah, so about 80-mile-an-hour winds being picked up there going in the single direction. So we're looking at, again, a powerful area there of circulation, also right where that hail core is too. So this is a big storm, and so we got to make sure that we're taking our precautions very seriously. Cedar Springs, it's going to be passing also to your northwest, the same with the Dane area as well. But down the line, as you can see, heading towards the Orienta area and then Cheyenne Valley, those locations, especially closer to Highway 412, we got to watch those too. Fairview, you're technically just outside of it right now, but we will also be keeping you informed, because if this thing starts to turn faster to the right, then there could also be some issues there.
Yeah, we could go on Lynx 1 if you'd like,
Jack.
I
was saying we can just go for Lynx 1 right now.
I have the cone set up here.
Gotcha. And then also just turn off that little bottom thing there where there's the screen capture button, that red button. Yeah, right there. Perfect. So we've got the track on there that Conrad has drone on here. So we got Orienta at 840, West Clio 845, Clio Springs at 847. Right now it looks like even that little notch looks to be a little bit more impressive looking right there where Conrad's got the mouse. Yeah, so that's going to be right where our area of rotation is. Let's see what it looks like on the velocity, and I bet that's going to be where that's at. So yeah, so it's right in the proper spot there. So again, we need to make sure that we're taking our precautions with the storm. Just a very dangerous storm with this. Again, we obviously are focusing in on that tornado potential, but we've also got a lot of hail with this, large hail, and a chance for damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. That could be getting faster too as we go into the night tonight, and also just a lot of heavy rain too. There's going to be just a lot of flooding rain with this storm too. So just a very impactful storm across portions of Major County.
Yeah, it looks like, the threat areas are west and southwest of Fairview and Orienta and Clio Springs as well. So we're continuing to track this. But yes, that tornado warning right now is in effect till around that 8:45 p.m. time frame for Major County here. You could see that with the cone just kind of indicating that trajectory of where it's going. But overall, though, there is a good amount of hail too. I did look at the hail. We could definitely see a lot more of the rotation as well. You could see that popping up here.
Yeah, so this storm is definitely a healthy storm, that's for sure. And it is kind of interesting where it is located right now, because it's in an area that we didn't actually think would be the kind of core zone that we'd be watching out for. We thought that would be actually a bit farther down to the southwest part of the state. So this one has latched on to some boundary that is out there, and it is going for sure. So again, tornado warning continues until 8:45 for portions of Major County and a little bit there of Woods County until 8:45. And again, this is what Conrad's got on there. The hail, there's a ton of hail with this storm too. A lot of heavy rain, a lot of hail, and you can see that this is just the swath of hail that it has dropped. So from basically southwest of the Tologa area, that's really where the storm kind of started, and then it's been just dumping a lot of hail ever since then. So a very, very robust storm moving on through portions of northwest Oklahoma this evening.
Yeah, and it does look like, when we got that update at 8:16 p.m., funnel cloud near, 4 miles southeast of Hookmack, Oklahoma, and that was actually reported by a tracker that's out there right now. And, you know, that tornado warning has been posted, you know, still in effect for an additional 25 minutes. So we'll see if that does get extended or not. But yeah, Jack, you're right. You know, look at that hail swath.
Yeah.
Just massive.
Just a lot of hail with that. Let's go back to velocity, Conrad, and just see what it looks like right now. It should still be holding together. Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, so there we go. So you've got, again, a really good looking couplet there with this supercell thunderstorm. It's now basically between, you know, triangulated between Cedar Springs, Battle, and also the Cheyenne Valley area. So it's in a obviously very rural spot, kind of zooming in pretty far, and there's no cities popping up, which is a good thing. But that's a pretty good looking area of rotation that we're watching within Major County. And then, yeah, this is reflectivity, and you could actually see the notch now occurring even better now at this point. So it actually looks more impressive now than it did just a little bit ago. So this is definitely a mature supercell, and one that is going to continue to probably go along for quite a while. I would imagine it's on some sort of boundary, might even be the old front from yesterday, might be riding along that, and so we might be talking about this storm for quite a while. It's definitely the biggest one out there. As you can see, Conrad zooming out, and you've got some of those storms just off to the north of it, and that are pretty small. And then he's got the Cheyenne storm there within Roger Mills and Beckham counties, and then also the Sayre storm as well. These are a lot smaller. So now, obviously, we're still looking at there to be a potential wind and hail threat with these too, especially as they might collapse. But overall, though, we've got really just one big one that we're tracking out there, and that is our one within Major County.
Yeah, and there's also that one in Texas, Jack, that we're continuing to track. A few severe thunderstorm warnings on that one. It will continue to track, you know, with that north-northeast trajectory. It looks like our tracker, Jack, is going in the right direction. He's heading a little bit more north, so that is pretty much in the path of the current severe thunderstorm warning that we are tracking in Beckham County. Same story in Roger Mills County. And then the one on the back end, you can see that there to the left, right? The left severe thunderstorm warning in Texas right now. It's getting close to the border, not quite there. Might still take around, you know, an hour or so for this thunderstorm to get into Oklahoma. But as of right now, we are tracking that one tornado warning currently in effect in Major County here and Woods County as well. It's going to be a little bit more in that southeastern parts of Woods County, and that's in effect till around 8:45 p.m. time frame. But Jack, you're right. Definitely see you know, where that rotation could possibly be as of right now.
Yeah, and you've got on the side of your screen there, you've got Jeff's shot. You know, he was in a good spot based on the forecast. It's not like he was just picking a spot to go chase. He was in a good spot. In fact, that's actually where most of the chasers was in southwest Oklahoma. This storm just kind of was doing its own thing, but it is definitely healthy enough, and it's going to continue to be moving on off to the northeast. So we're still looking at that, again, good-looking inflow notch on the reflectivity. It is now, again, you can also see, too, it's kind of cycling through. Just a lot of good rotation is being depicted, too, on there. So we know this is a healthy supercell. Thankfully, though, again, a very rural area. But if you live south of the Cheyenne Valley, south of 412, and then just kind of north of Cedar Springs in that area, that is really where we are concerned about with our storm. It's going to be, I think, at this point now, pretty far to the west of Fairview, so you've obviously got a good lightning show out of this storm, but I don't think it's going to be turning hard enough to the right for you to be impacted right now. But Orienta and Clio Springs, we still need to be taking our precautions right now, as this, again, is a big storm. If we can go back to just the reflectivity, Conrad, you can just see just, you know, how big this thing is. And yeah, you've got just not only that tornado potential as well, but you've got strong winds and also just a large amount of hail, potentially even large hail, with this supercell thunderstorm. So Orienta and Clio Springs, you're probably seeing a great lightning show as well, maybe even getting some of that heavy rain. But we still need to be keeping an eye out, though, for that tornado potential, which is still a number of miles down to your southwest.
Yeah, and as of right now, Jack, there's no actual visuals of a tornado on the ground in Major County, but it is very capable of producing at a tornado at any moment. So it could be, you know, within a few seconds, few minutes. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But as of right now, it's not a confirmed tornado, but it is radar indicated at the moment, which there is no report just yet of actual tornado on the ground at the moment, but still very, very dangerous.
Oh, yeah, and when we go to the velocity again, because you can just see how good this storm looks. So, I mean, it is a very healthy-looking storm. Probably the reason why we don't have any reports on it is that, number one, it's a very rural part of the area, and then number two, like we've been talking about with where Jeff's position is, most of the chasers were not close to this storm. So they were all down in the southwest corner of the state. So there's actually probably very few that actually have eyes on it. So it again remains a good-looking storm, both from a reflectivity standpoint as well as from a velocity standpoint, and that's the reason why we still continue to watch out for the area there. Again, it's looking to be a bit more ragged now at this point in terms of what it looks like on velocity, but sometimes we'll get our new reflectivity scan and our velocity scan, and they come in at different times. But you can definitely see, though, again, between Cedar Springs and the Cheyenne Valley area there, kind of right where Conrad's mouse is, that's where that reflectivity inflow notch is, and that would be where our tornado would be at. So this still remains a very dangerous storm with, again, a lot of hail. Now, that hail may have actually kind of shifted a bit farther to the north of the area of rotation from what it looked like earlier. They were kind of almost right on top of each other. But yeah, right over 412 right now, we're looking at some pretty decent hail returns on our radar product right now. So a lot of large hail also going to be a damaging threat with these storms too.
Yeah, as of right now, it does look like the probability of the largest hail, Jack, is actually right in between Cheyenne Valley and Orienta at the moment. But even if you're outside of that area, you're still possibly seeing some hail in your area with the newest updates coming on through. And of course, those gusty winds are a big threat once again. But you can just see how large this hail threat is. Even, 30 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago, you could see where that larger hail was, closer to, let's say, Taloga as well.
Yeah, and it definitely has been a robust storm that has dumped a lot of hail. We're going to get a new update here at 8:30. Obviously, this tornado warning goes until 8:45, but I'll be curious to see what our other storms are doing out there across more of the southwest part of the state. These kind of smaller storms that we have warnings on, they might still hold on to that one. So that one, if you click on that one, Conrad, I think that one goes, okay, that's till 9 o'clock actually.
Till 9.
Okay, so that one goes until 9 o'clock for the areas north of the Sayre area, and then between basically Berlin and Merritt and Elk City, these are areas to watch out for. That goes until 9. There's a bit in the way of some rotation, and in fact, try looking at it, what it looks like on the Frederick radar, just to see if that changes how that looks there just a little bit, because we're kind of in the spot where we have to bounce between a lot of different radars on this side of the state. Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of there, but it's definitely not as strong, clearly not as strong as a storm that we are tracking across portions of major counties. So yeah, that's not as impressive looking. The same thing can also be said with that storm that we've also got the warning on. I think that Ellis County, Beckham County one, Conrad, that one. Okay, oh, that's also until 8:45 too. Okay, so we've got until 8:45 until really we get a new little refresh there of our warnings. We also are still keeping an eye out on that storm that is within the Texas Panhandle as well. I think at this point it looks like that storm that's by the Quail area, that one might actually be not the warning that there is currently one for. It actually is back farther off to the west. So
new one.
Just got a new one. Okay, so maybe it's still pretty strong there, but we've got that one until 9:30. So it'll still be a long time until it crosses over into Oklahoma too. So we'll be watching that storm as well. But we'll go back now to our tornado warning, and if you wouldn't mind going back to the Vance radar there, Conrad, just to get a nice clear view. You can see, though, that over, so it's still looking to be impressive there. It goes until 8:45. We've got that, again, really nice looking inflow notch within Major County and also that kind of southeast portion there of Woods County until 8:45. Yeah, so it's West Clio is where it's picking up on at 8:49. Clio Springs at 8:51. Again, we've got a supercell very capable of dropping a tornado. It looks very impressive on radar as well as reflectivity and velocity. And so we've got a very, very potent storm there. So again, we need to make sure that we're taking our tornado precautions with this storm. Looks to be now we're getting started to be a bit more, I would say, broadened out with our rotation, area of rotation. Not as tight as what it looked like before. It's definitely still spinning, but it's a little bit disorganized. But I don't think, though, that we're looking at the storm to be dying out at any point soon.
No, it's still going into around 8:45 p.m. and probably going to get extended. We'll see how things go. It hasn't been confirmed just yet, Jack, so hopefully that's not going to be the case. But as of right now, continuing to look at a little bit more of that rotation, as well. In that same area we were just looking at, just south and east of Cheyenne Valley. Yeah, so as Conrad's got right now, that rotation detector, it's still showing up. It's a bit smaller than what it looked like before a couple minutes ago when we showed that. So that's also a good sign too. But this supercell might be cycling, so it might still be able to go on for a while longer, as there's really hasn't been any competition for any resources with this, because it kind of formed
in an odd spot, a little bit farther away from all the other storms that are out there. So maybe there's some sort of leftover outflow boundary that it just latched up on, and then boom, we had this tornado warning. So we'll see and just kind of watch and see how things go. Again, going until 8:45. Again, nice looking notch there. So it's still definitely capable of producing a tornado. Again, Cheyenne Valley, Orienta, Clio Springs. You guys need to make sure that we are in our shelters or our safe rooms or wherever you need to go to in your house at those lowest levels, away from the windows, to make sure that we are taking our precautions very seriously. Kind of go to the Barren button as well one more time and just see what the hail core looks like on this thing, because I bet it's going to be also pretty big too. All right, so we got a lot of rotation showing up there and a lot of hail as well. So again, you've got just a large hail swath, just keeps on creeping up farther and farther north. But you can see, though, that we've lost the severe thunderstorm warning around it. We just have the tornado warning currently for this storm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking the severe thunderstorm warning might get posted here very shortly. It still has a lot of energy with this, thunderstorm that we're currently seeing, with this tornado warning that we're currently seeing as well. I'll let you know once we get the newest updates on this actual tornado warning. National Weather Service hasn't quite given us an update here in the last few minutes, but of course, we're continuing to track a lot of hail. We're looking at a lot of gusty winds, damaging winds as well, with this potential tornado that could be on the ground. We haven't got, it hasn't been confirmed just yet, Jack, but still, radar indicated tornado warning, treating it very, very serious.
Yeah. If you click on the Barren button, Conrad, is what it's called, and there's going to be a couple spots that are going to show up where it's going to be this bright orange color that's going to show up. Go one more down from where you're currently at. Yeah, that one. And then click on the dropper, and we'll show you there that that's actually some really fast wind that's there. That's going to be probably 80 to 100 mile per hour winds showing up there within that zone. And click the one just a little bit north of that, the orange pixels. Go back to the drop. Yeah, sorry, it's a little confusing. Yeah, 100-mile-an-hour wind. So again, it's showing there a lot in the way of just really fast winds, which would be rotating in this area. This is definitely a impressive-looking mesocyclone for sure on all these different views that we have with the radar. So it, again, remains a very, very potent storm with, again, large hail also across a huge swath of Major County too. So like Conrad's clicking on there, it's coming in, and on our product is 2-inch in diameter hail. It might be just a touch smaller than that, but I do think, though, that not only could the hail be quite large with this storm, we could be also seeing just a lot of it too. There's a chance we could be looking at just a lot of hail to come out of this thing.
So speaking about hail, Jack, here, we actually did just get an update here. The hail is close to 2 inches now. Okay, it's an inch and 3/4. So this is very accurate here, showing up for us. But overall, though, as of right now, this is very capable of producing a tornado. It's located 6 miles northwest of Fairview, moving northeast a little bit slower now, from 30 to around 25 miles per hour as of right now. Okay. So we are seeing that golf ball sized hail as well with those very gusty winds.
Yeah, so it makes sense that we've got the large hail. We've been talking about that, since yesterday, for the chance for these storms tonight to produce very, very large hail, and that was going to be actually, part of the biggest reason why we're going to have this severe weather to begin with was that hail potential. But as you can see, that we've also, especially throughout the morning, the forecast really ramped up with that tornado threat during this morning. And so that's, again, not surprising that we've got this going on. So again, it's still kind of just almost kind of wrapping around itself there. You got a good looking inflow notch. Let's see what it looks like on the velocity, Conrad, and just so it's still broadened out, but it's definitely there. I would say, though, we got to kind of watch out, though, especially within Orienta and Clio Springs, if this storm is going to try to turn, more of a easterly direction instead of northeast, it's going to get pretty close there to the Orienta area. But like Conrad said, it's also slowing down too at around 25 miles an hour. And so when a storm slows down a bit, it's also a time that we have to watch out for some potential for additional re-strengthening. So that will be one thing we'll see with some of our storms as well.
Yeah, there's no actual report of a tornado on the ground just yet, but very, very high potential for, this tornado southwest of Orienta and going up towards Clio Springs, like Jackie were just saying. So if you are in these areas, you want to make sure you're in that tornado shelter. You want to be prepared. You want to make sure you're in that lowest level of your property, away from windows, away from doors. Of course, you want to be as much of an interior area as you possibly can, away from the outside walls. You want to make sure you're not on the roads, you're not taking videos, you're not taking pictures outside, as this is a nocturnal storm, so it's very dangerous. It's dark outside. You can't quite see exactly where this possible tornado could be. So you want to make sure you are in that tornado shelter, and you are definitely prepared for for this severe weather that is currently ongoing right now.
Yep, got a new little update there to our velocity. So it's still showing a lot of rotation, but fairly broad rotation. But, this is also a big storm, too. So that's also one thing that we have to see. There's some couple brighter pixels in there, too. So there might even be maybe even 2 areas of rotation that we'll be seeing. This would be only, at this point, just a couple of miles south of Highway 412. So yeah, kind of that's a good thing to keep it on. You can kind of see we're about 2 to 3 miles south there of Highway 412. We'll be coming in right in between Orienta and Cheyenne Valley, a little bit closer to Orienta, but still we are looking at to kind of thread the needle between the two of those. And again, like we've been mentioning, it's kind of slowed down just a little bit there. So Orienta at 849, West Clio 853, Clio Springs 846. Again, if it continues on its current track. And we've got about 8 more minutes left of this current tornado warning. I would imagine we probably will get another one. As you can see, as kind of zooms out, we've got additional storms that are down in the more southwest part of the state. We've got our storm tracker, Jeff Porter, out there. Again, we said earlier on, he was in a good spot chase-wise based on the forecast, and he was really where all the other chasers were too. And then this storm that we've got the tornado warning for popped up in kind of an odd spot. But he's also on a storm that's got just a little bit in the way of some rotation there with that supercell. That one goes until 9 o'clock for Beckham County. Still, though, it's a lot smaller in nature. We're probably looking at lighter winds as well as some smaller hail with this one, too, but still 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter to maybe even up to half-dollar-sized hail. And there's, just like I said, a little bit in the way of some rotation. Not much with that one, but that's still definitely one to keep an eye on. I've been checking our texts with them, and there's a bit more in the way of lightning strikes with that storm that Jeff is on. So that one might be also kind of on a bit of an uptick in intensity. So he might be on a good storm eventually. And that storm that we've got up north of Leedy, he's still in line, got it. That storm that's north of the Leedy area there, that one is kind of right there on the edge of the polygon. And with it being so small, I have to imagine that one probably gets canceled early or just is allowed to expire at 8:45. That one doesn't look to be as impressive looking.
Yeah, you're right. Does not look as impressive. It could still develop a little bit more. We'll see. It's very, the environment is very favorable for more and more development as we head, the next few hours or so. But as of right now, the newest severe thunderstorm warning has just been issued, Jack, here.
Yep, so one thing, actually kind of keep it zoomed out just a touch here, because what you're going to see is that the storm that we had the severe thunderstorm warning on earlier across northern Alfalfa County, that's now moved into Kansas. And there's actually not a lot of just storm activity or in competition in the way of our supercell down farther to the south. So it might still have a lot of strength to work with as it moves through Alfalfa County as it heads towards Jet and Cherokee. Right now we got the severe thunderstorm warning out until 9:45. But the tornado warning remains currently where it's at, closer to the area of circulation. Conrad, what does that new warning say for us?
So that new severe thunderstorm warning, it's just been issued here, and that's that leading edge of that large severe thunderstorm that was located near Aleen, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. So it is picking up a little bit of speed. We're looking at ping pong ball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts as of right now. So pretty much an inch and a half hail as we are currently looking at that new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued. It is in effect till around 9:45 p.m. time frame. Then we have that tornado warning that is inside of that severe thunderstorm warning right now.
Yeah, so we've got, again, 5 more minutes left of our tornado warning. I'd have to imagine that we're probably going to get a new tornado warning out of that. I don't think there's any way that that one's going to die out super fast. But again, we are still watching that very closely. May not look as impressive looking on the radar as it once did, but there's still a very healthy looking inflow notch on that. Again, it would be kind of right there on Highway 412 that we'd have to watch out for that area of circulation. Maybe now just even just a touch to the north of it. But again, a very, very large supercell thunderstorm producing very, very heavy rain, strong winds up to 60, maybe even up to 80 miles an hour, especially close to the area of circulation, and the hail potential too, which remains again very large, upwards of 1.5 inches, maybe even close to 2 inches at times.
Yeah, it still looks impressive. I was just going to say, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they extend it.
Yep, so okay, there we go. One thing you'll notice though is that it's a bit bigger, so it does go farther out. It goes until 9:30, so it will go out for a longer duration now. And it's also, as you can tell, it's turned a bit farther to the right than what it did earlier on. So Orienta, you're still in this new tornado warning. Clio Springs are also in this now, but we've got now at this point the Carlisle area, we've got McWillie, we've got Helena, Goltry, and Aline. These are all spots that are going to be in the new tornado warning that goes until 9:30. So these will be also spots that we're going to need to be taking precautions on. You got a long time lead up with this one, but that's going to be the storm that we're going to be tracking, I think, into the night tonight. Just because it's very, very impressive looking, and it's still got enough to keep going with the tornado warning.
Yep, and this new tornado warning, that's in effect till 9:30 p.m. Overall, though, it is moving north and east at 35 miles per hour, so a little bit faster than that previous tornado warning, but this one has been extended. We're looking at ping pong ball-sized tails, so around 1.5 inches. And of course, you know, very gusty winds with this as well, with the heavy rainfall and the hail that is continuing to fall with this tornado warning that we're currently seeing. Just got extended as well. So we're continuing to track, you know, areas like Clio Springs, Aline. Now we're looking at Helena, same story. Carwell next in line for this potential tornado that could be on the ground.
If we can go to velocity and just see what it looks like, because on over here, it looks like it's kind of tightening back up again. Yeah, so I think it's a large area of rotation for sure, but it's a bit tighter at this point now. So it's not surprising that we did get the new tornado warning out of that. So it's still going to be passing just off to the north and to the northwest of the Orienta, you know, downtown area, but it is turning a bit farther to the right and a bit closer there. So still in those spots especially, you need to make sure Orienta, Clio Springs, that we are still in our tornado safe spot, making sure that we're in our lowest level away from the windows, because this storm remains, again, very, very powerful from not only a potential for tornado development, but large hail, strong winds too. So this is a potent storm. So just get away from those windows, get down to the lowest level, and do that quickly but calmly, and you'll be okay. But again, that's still an impressive looking area of rotation. Again, just off, probably at that point now, it's actually might be right over the Highway 412 area, just off to the west of Orienta by a few miles. I'd say by about 3 miles. Right there is where we have our rotation detector, and so yeah, that's going to be where that's at. So these are going to be your county roads. Yeah, so 1 mile, about 2 to 3 miles to the west of the Orienta area. Clio Springs, both of you guys need to make sure that we're, again, taking our tornado precautions and getting down to the lowest level of our homes. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so it's probably not rain wrapped, I would say. There's definitely still the south-looking inflow notch on that, so it's going to be obviously hard to see because it's dark out, but there's going to be a lot of lightning, but I don't think it's going to be rain wrapped, so that might help things out a little bit from a visibility standpoint. But still, got to make sure that we are taking our precautions, and this goes for a long time until 9:30. A couple power outages looks like you got on there too.
Yeah, just a little bit. We're not looking at too much when it comes to actual power outages. I would say more of the severe threat would be the hail, the gusty winds, and of course with this tornado warning, the heavy rainfall that we are currently looking at right now. But when it comes to that hail detector, I mean, maybe not as broad of an area, but overall, though, still looking at that area just north and west of Orienta right now, where the possible rotation is right now. Pretty good area as well, Jack.
Yeah, yeah. So again, Orienta, we need to make sure that we are taking our tornado precautions very seriously, as it's going to be really close to you. If you turn on the debris tracker, it's the CC/RHO. It's under the winter word. There's going to be the debris tracker that we can see there, and that one would be the thing that we have to watch out for to see if we get closer to Orienta, if we're able to see anything. There's going to be a lot of contamination there, because we'll be watching out for the blue areas there. So there's a lot of contamination, but there still might be an area of debris that we'll be watching out for. And yeah, not super helpful right now. We have what's called side lobing with the radar, and so it's going to make it look a little bit messy right now. But I just want to see if we could see anything noteworthy on that. But that is an area to watch out for, or a type of product on our radar that we'll have to use and watch out for, because that will be helpful potentially, especially if one is confirmed on the ground. But that's not super helpful, but I just want to see what it looked like. But yeah, I mean, there is, again, your nice inflow notch and your area of rotations be kind of right there along 412, where there's going to be that area of rotation showing up there.
And that's pretty much where we're seeing that rotation detector here, where now there's 2 areas possible rotation. So you can see that just to the south of Cleo Springs, and then same story just north and west of Orienta as well. So 2 areas that we're currently watching in this tornado warning.
So we've got, current time is 8:46 right now. As you can see, we've kind of cleaned up some of our polygons. How long does the severe thunderstorm warning around it go until? So 9:45 as well. And then what about our other storms that are down farther to our south? I think we've probably lost a couple. Okay, so we've lost 1 warning. So that little storm that's north of Leedy, that one died. There's nothing there.
Yep.
The storm that Jeff is on north of Elk City, that one looks to be pretty good. What does that one look like on the Frederick radar to see if that one looks a little bit better?
Yep, that one's in effect till around 9:30 p.m. time frame.
Okay. Yep, so as you can see, we got Jeff's shot up on the side of your TV screen there. So that one is not as impressive looking as a storm, but it's actually coming up. It's actually gaining strength and looks to be a bit more impressive. So this new one, this new severe thunderstorm warning takes it until 9:30, and it'll go out for quite a while, or quite a longer distance off to our northeast. So it does include Foss Reservoir, the Butler area, Hammond, Morewood, a lot of hail with this storm as well. It's actually probably producing more and more hail as we go later on into the night tonight. So that storm will be also one to watch out for. Could actually be the one that strengthens and becomes the new one that we'd have to keep our eye on. Yeah,
it looks like that hail detector is just to the north and west of where Jeff is currently located. So as Jeff continues that trajectory up north, he might get into a little bit of hail as well. You could see his vehicle moving right there. But overall, though, just seeing a severe thunderstorm warning with this one, not seeing too much rotation, not seeing a lot of rotation with this one, which is a good sign. But overall, though, you know, like you were saying, Jack, it is still developing. It could still gain a little bit more strength here.
Yeah, I think if one is going to be a problem down the line, it would be this one. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. And once it becomes more impressive looking, then we'll check on in more and more with Jeff, because he's, again, in a good spot for that one. And as you can still see, there's some storms approaching the Oklahoma-Texas line. And so eventually those will be close to the Eric area and kind of right there on I-40. That one that's in Collingsworth County, Texas, south of Shamrock, that'll be one to also watch out for too. Not as impressive looking right now on the radar with that one, but still we got to watch out for that, because, you know, as we go later on into the night tonight, I still think that there's going to be a lot of good ingredients to work with, especially when our low-level jet kicks in more and more from the south. That may help to get some of these storms spinning a bit more. So I don't think we're done just yet, even though we've got you know, just 1 tornado warning right now. I think we might be looking at still kind of a more active night with just a handful of storms that will be out there.
And then let's take a look at the reflectivity right now. Let me just change the model here. Okay, still looks very impressive here.
Yep, yeah, very impressive looking on that one. And we are still,
you can see a wider area now where the rotation detector is showing just to the west of Cleo Springs. But yeah, there's those 2 areas, one where my mouse is right now, and then the second one's the larger area of rotation, a little bit more of that rotation in the atmosphere. And overall, though, that is in and around Cleo Springs. So if you are in and around Cleo Springs at the moment, you want to make sure you are in that tornado shelter, you are prepared, and you are definitely just kind of ready and on alert with this area. So with the newest update coming in right now, you see that, Jack, right there?
Yeah, it looks there. And yeah, so Cleo Springs, you guys are really close. You guys need to make sure that we are in our tornado safe spot or shelter, again, in the lowest level of your house, away from the windows. It is really close to you guys right now by only a couple miles. And in fact, you know, it might actually be turning even, if you wouldn't mind, kind of putting it on that little 15-minute time lapse over 1 minute, just to see what it looks like, because it might be try to turn more and more harder to the right, which would put it closer in line to Cleo Springs. Yeah, it's getting really close there. So again, need to make sure that, again, Cleo Springs and in the surrounding areas around that, need to make sure that we are taking our tornado precautions, as this is going to be passing very, very close to your area. And it remains, again, a very potent supercell thunderstorm with easily the capability of dropping a dangerous tornado at this time, coming in currently at 8:50 in the evening.
Yeah, so with this newest update came in a minute and a half ago, that potential tornado just west and northwest of Orienta. It's moving towards Cleo Springs like we were just looking at, the 2 areas of rotation here. So overall, though, we are continuing to track that. You could see that area of rotation right there. So yeah, we're currently tracking that possible, you know, tornado that could be on the ground right there. Not confirmed just yet, but we're going to continue to track this.
Yeah, it's an impressive looking storm. So again, and you can even see too, as we have this loop going with our rotation detector, It looks impressive for a couple scans, gets a little smaller, comes back up again, and you can even see that we've got that yellow color showing up there just off to the west of Clio Springs by just, I would say, about 2 miles or so, 2-3 miles. We've not seen that color pop up with this, and so again, just shows you that it's tight. And we've got a brand new update there again right there for West Clio and the Clio Springs area. It shows up as extreme rotation. So that's definitely an area that we are expecting the tornado to be basically imminent at any point, and I wouldn't surprise me if there's one on the ground. We just, again, don't know. But again, it remains a very dangerous situation, so we need to make sure that we're, again, seeking our tornado precautions and going to our shelter and getting away from the windows and the lowest level. Just get to where you need to go in the West Clio and the Clio Springs area. Again, it's just off to your west-northwest by just a couple of miles there.
Yeah, and you could pretty much see the green and red colors coming together. Wind's going towards the radar, away from the radar. So exactly where my mouse is right now is pretty much where that tornado could be in any of this area. You could see that popping up here as well with that rotation detector. And then here on the reflectivity, you could see that as well in and around Clio Springs. So if you are in this area, you want to make sure you are well prepared for this possible tornado that could be on the ground, especially with how intense the rotation is, Jack, you know? So we don't really see the yellow colors as often with tornado warnings, but with this one, we're currently seeing a lot of the yellow coloring showing up here inside of the red, where it does show us that there's a very high rotation up in the atmosphere, at least up in the atmosphere. Could be on the ground. Yeah,
there's very high likelihood that there could be one there. So again, we need to make sure that we are watching the situation very closely in the Clio Springs area and also farther off to the northwest from there. So the Carwheel area, McWillie, Helena, we got to watch out in there, and Aline too. We got to watch out where that storm is. However, it might be kind of just moving off to the northeast, 25, 30 miles an hour. So we'll put that track on there. Clio Springs will be right now, but the Carwheel area at 9:11, McWillie at 9:12, and the Helena area at 9:20. Those will be the areas to watch out for this tornado-warned storm right now that goes until 9:30. So it's going to be a while that we're still tracking this supercell thunderstorm as it makes its way from Major County and into Alfalfa County. Again, good-looking rotation. Might even be potentially trying to see that, like Conrad's saying, these two areas of rotation. Yeah, so there's smaller one to the east of Clio Springs, but really though it's that one to the northwest that remains, again, that dominant area of circulation. And you can still see there's that area of extreme showing up there in that small pocket of rotation there. So again, remains a very, very dangerous storm. Current time 8:53 on this Thursday evening. And if we could go, Conrad, to our reflectivity and just zoom way out and just show everybody that we've got, there's not a lot of storms that are out there. We've got really just for our area, 2 supercells that we were watching that have warnings on them. Jeff is on the other one that's a lot smaller, but as you can see, we only have just 2 storms out there that we're really watching. So there's not a lot of competition. By our supercell, there are a couple little smaller little feeder cells that are closing in on it. So in the eastern parts there of Major County, there's a bit more in the way of some little rain showers there. But by Jeff, we've got that supercell, and then we also have the ones within Texas trying to come on in. So again, we'll only talk about a handful of storms that are out there, but the ones that are out there clearly quite impressive and very, very strong. So we're going to be watching that very closely.
Yeah, and we're also tracking that severe thunderstorm warning in Texas. That's right at that border of Oklahoma, so that's another storm we really have to pay attention to. It does have a lot of energy in this one, so we'll see if that one continues to hold its strength going into Oklahoma. But as of right now, we're seeing Jeff in that severe thunderstorm warning, the one just to the north, and he's getting, he's going a little bit more north, so he's starting to get into more of that intense part of that thunderstorm at the moment. Doesn't look like there's a lot of rotation with this one that Jeff is in, but overall, though, we're continuing to track this it's severe thunderstorm warning just in and around Carpenter area as of right now. But the only tornado warning we're currently seeing is the one up north here that we're currently tracking for another 35 minutes. That's when it would expire, and we'll see if that actually does get continued or not.
Yeah, so we are, if we go back to, the reflectivity, so there we go, Conrad. You can see there's a nice looking inflow notch again. So that looks to be a bit more impressive now to the north of and the northwest of the Clio Springs area. So that looks to be a bit more impressive. As you can kind of see, it's also kind of changing its shape up a little bit as well, where it's the area of circulation isn't at the bottom of the storm, but it's actually becoming a bit more, coming more on the western side of the storm. So there is a bit of some overall kind of changing happening with this storm. But as you can clearly tell, though, right there was that little swirl. That is our inflow notch. And so it does show you that the storm remains still very healthy, coming in almost to 9 o'clock this evening. And again, you can see there's that area of rotation. It looks better now. We lost that kind of secondary area that we're watching, but there's a bigger area of more of that strong and even extreme rotation showing up on our velocity. And so, again, it's kind of all making sense. We may have been kind of cycling through, and it might be on an upward tick up right now.
Yes, no, exactly. We're still continuing to track this in Major County with new updates that are just going to continue to come on in. As of right now, we're still waiting for any additional, news and updates on this one. But it does still look very impressive, Jack, very impressive. You could see even on this reflectivity where this possible rotation could be, and still has a lot of energy, a lot of large hail incorporated in there, some very gusty winds, and this tornado warning where there's possibly a tornado on the ground. We didn't have it confirmed just yet, but it is nighttime, it is a nocturnal storm, so it's going to be a lot harder to actually spot it if it is on the ground.
Yeah, and I mean, if it looks this good on the reflectivity, and if it looks that good as what it's looked like on the velocity, yeah, I bet we probably will end up having one that was there. Again, it's a very impressive looking storm. As you can see with that new scan that we just got, it's now lifting north of Clio Springs. So you guys should be safe now in the Clio Springs area. But we need to still make sure that we are taking our precautions to the north of there. So we're still kind of watching just like this larger area of rotation, maybe trying to split up a little bit there. But it's still a kind of larger, more singular area of rotation that we've got north of the Clio Springs area.
Yeah, it's moving at 35 miles per hour, so it does have a little bit of speed on there, but still overall though, we are still looking at very dangerous conditions that are incoming as of right now. So it looks like McWillie, you could possibly see this right around a 9:08 p.m. time frame, Helena around 9:14 p.m. time frame, and Goltry around 9:24 p.m. time frame. But you, of course, want to be ready well before that, just in case it is, coming in a little bit faster, if it picks up any speed or anything like that.
Yeah. We are just looking at a couple things here off the chat.
Still in effect that, up until 9:30 p.m. time frame when it comes to that tornado warning. But yes, this is the only tornado warning as of right now here in Oklahoma. And then we do also have the severe thunderstorm warning in this as well. The severe thunderstorm warning is in effect till 9:45 p.m. time frame, so we'll see what exactly is going to happen with that. But as of right now, still holding a lot of energy, a lot of strength when it comes to this actual tornado warning, and you could see where the possible rotation area is. As of right now, it is north of Clio Springs, like Jack was just saying. So if you're in Clio Springs, now it is, the more severe part, the more significant part of this tornado warning is north of Clio Springs, but it is on its way to areas like Helene and McWillie, Helena, Carwell as well. So we are continuing to track this as it continues at around 35 miles per hour. So it has a little bit of speed. It's not a stationary, it's not just kind of lingering there, which is a good sign. But overall, though, it does still have a lot of energy. And even with the base velocity, you're starting to see, still seeing those green-red colors together, winds going towards and away from the radar, which does give us that indication that there is some rotation up in the atmosphere, at least up in the atmosphere. But it could be on the ground. It is nighttime. It's a lot harder to actually see if this is, if this tornado is on the ground or not. And it hasn't been confirmed just yet. But overall, though, still seeing a good amount of an area here where we're seeing the pretty high intense rotation.
Yeah, so right now, current time is 9 o'clock, so we are in the Fox 25 News at 9, so we still have until 9:30 with this tornado warning. So we are going to be continuing to hold on to our tornado warning coverage until it is gone. But right now, again, we're watching, and you're watching the Fox 25 News at 9. We'll provide you more updates on just the overall news of the day on our website, okcfox.com, and we will break off when we need to, but we still need to obviously keep on going with our tornado coverage. Again, we're looking at a supercell thunderstorm within Major County, moving on into Alfalfa County. Conrad, if you wouldn't mind turning on the reflectivity and zoom out just a little bit. There's a cell that's by Ringwood. Yeah, so see that? There is that cell. If you want to put a little bit of a time lapse on that, and if you actually could zoom out just a touch more, just that way we can see the kind of movement of that storm, and do that little 15-minute time lapse.
Okay, one sec.
You're good. And you'll see that this storm has formed pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And it's getting sucked in. So a lot of times when you have a really strong supercell thunderstorm like this, you're going to have some feeder storms that will also get sucked into it too. And that might help to keep it going. We might be looking at that to have at some point here pretty soon, a storm merger. And when those storm mergers happen, you can then get an uptick in your intensity of your rotation. Sometimes the storm merger takes some time to where it goes down a little bit and it kind of cycles down before it kicks back up. But a lot of times that's what we have happening there. In fact, you can even kind of tell with that little cell by Ringwood that there's actually even a little bit of a small hook on that thing too. So there is actually some good rotation in this area as it gets sucked in. And so that may help to keep the storm going even further on. So just one interesting thing to note with that storm. We're also kind of trimming the tornado warning, it looks like, as well. So Orienta, you're now out of the tornado warning. Clio Springs, you're also now out of the tornado warning as well. But it's now moving into more Alfalfa County at this point. In fact, that little inflow notch that we've been watching is actually very close to the county line, just off to the south of the Aleen area there, north of Clio Springs. So that is really where we are watching out for our major impacts out of the storm to be when it comes to that tornado potential.
Yeah, and there has been some reports, people calling in saying they're, high voltage power lines are down along Highway 60, and that's west of Fairview.
Okay.
As of right now, so if you are traveling in that area, you don't want to be traveling. You want to make sure you are in your safe spot in a concrete building, at least lowest level of that property. But overall, though, we are tracking that that funnel cloud that is at least 3/4 or more down to the ground, near the Clio, just north of the Clio Springs area as of right now. So we are continuing to track this tornado warning in effect for another 28 minutes or so. But like you were saying, Jack, that thunderstorm closer to Ringwood is kind of like, backup help for that actual tornado, which could make it cycle through. It could actually just continue to be, a tornado warning for a good amount of time.
Yeah, 'cause sometimes when you get these cell mergers, it will kind of bring the intensity down a little bit, but as they, those areas of rotation then kind of merge into one, then it becomes a lot stronger. So there might be a little bit of a trend where it's downward for a little bit, but we will definitely not count it out. One thing to note, though, Conrad, if you could actually zoom way out and go into Texas again, we've got from chat there is a tornado warning down there in the Memphis area of Texas. And the reason why it's important is because this is still kind of the really important and really the best area for these storms to have developed. This is really the area that we were probably going to be watching most of our storms developing anyways. They're basically coming in and being delayed by about 3 to 4 hours in terms of their initiation. But these will also be some of those storms to watch out for too, because they may make their way into Oklahoma and continue on to that trend. So just want to point that out. Obviously, it's got a long ways to go before it potentially impacts Oklahoma, but that would be a storm that we would have to keep our eyes on, because if we remember from where it looked like with the enhanced risk from the Storm Prediction Center, this was the target area down there. So we'll be definitely keeping an eye out on that situation. But just want to show that first.
And our tracker Jeff, our tracker Jeff, that's what I was trying to say. So he is actually just north of Carpenter as of right now. He's getting really into that severe thunderstorm warning as of right now. You could see that right there.
Yeah, in fact, you know what? Click on his picture there up at the top there, Conrad, to take his camera. And Jeff, we're going to take you full screen. And if you can hear us, just let us know what you're seeing right now. Obviously, it's dark for us, but you got a lot of lightning as you're on that storm that's also intensifying pretty quickly.
Yeah, so we have a lot of lightning out here, a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning as well.
Okay.
And haven't really seen any hail yet. We're kind of sitting just a little south of what we think that is the hail core. But right now, it rained before we got here, but it's pretty dry right now.
And so with where your position is, Jeff, because it's obviously today's been a pretty interesting forecast and kind of hard to get into position. You think you're going to try to stay on that storm, or you're going to try to see what those Texas storms do as they come into southwest Oklahoma?
That's exactly what we were talking about just a minute ago.
Yeah.
We're trying to debate on sticking with this storm or moving back southwest.
Because I'm not sure either. I think either choice is good. I know that the Texas storms are definitely in the more favorable environment. They just got delayed by, like I said earlier, like 3 to 4 hours. So it might be almost kind of worth it to try to see what those do a little bit before making, a final decision. But
Yeah.
so what you're seeing, though, obviously a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning, which is very dangerous. The track that you've driven, though, so far today, you've really not gone through a lot of places that rained, so you're not seeing a lot of like flooded or flooded over roadways, have you?
No, not at all. I mean, the most rain we've seen is what we've just encountered, and it passed through before we even got to it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Jeff, thank you very much. So so Jeff is on our other severe thunderstorm warned storm, and where he's at, he's again north of Carpenter. The storm is between him and the Hammond area. That's in Custer County, and that's probably it's definitely our second most powerful storm that we have out there. So we'll definitely see what we have to do in terms of a decision, because again, that one could keep on going, but then we also have just some really good-looking storms down in Texas to keep an eye out for. But just want to kind of show that overall radar trend with that. So we can go back to our tornado warning, Conrad. And like so, we just got a new trimming there of our severe thunderstorm warning. So I think everything now at this point, it's all now within Alfalfa County. So everything is within Alfalfa County right now. The severe thunderstorm warning goes until 9:45. The tornado warning goes until 9:30. We're getting really close there to the Vance Air Force Base radar there, right by the Great Salt Lake and Jet right there. So that's going to be we're going to have a really just good look at the storm as it gets close to that radar.
Yeah, and it looks like this tornado warning just gets into Garfield County here, just a little bit in the far western parts of this, but still same story. Around 9:30 p.m. time frame, this tornado warning could possibly expire. It could actually just get extended as well, because it still looks very impressive. And you were right, Jack. You could see that thunderstorm that was near Ringwood coming together now with this actual tornado warning.
Turn on the lightning just real quick there for a second, Kyron, to see if we can see if that's got a lot of lightning with it too. Yeah, so that means it's just everywhere. Okay. So that little feeder storm may help to, do some interactions. Now, what that might be a problem, you've got the Great Salt Plains Lake there in the state park, right where the radar base is. If it gets over that, will be a little bit harder to see it because it'll be right over the cone of silence right there. But that will be an interesting thing to watch out for to see how this thing merges. But again, as you can still see, it's got the good inflow notch heading now. At this point, it's a few miles to the southwest of the McWillie area, and it'll be heading in that direction. New update there just kind of came in, kind of closed it up a little bit. What does velocity look like right now? Yeah, so it's also broadened out too, but there's definitely still some areas of rotation that we're watching. I'd say about 4 to 5 miles to the southwest there of the McWillie area. And again, Cameron's got that rotation detector where there's that small little pocket right there where there's some of that little pixel there of the extreme. That would be where your strongest winds would be. So it's kind of getting a little bit smaller, that extreme area, but so a lot of just broad rotation. That storm remains very strong with this storm.
Yep, and with this merger that we were just talking about coming in, from Ringwood, that is pretty much to be in the forward flank downdraft. So we don't expect as much of interference when it comes to the circulation, but it might weaken a little bit. Looks like possibly did weaken just a tad bit with this new update, but it could also cycle through. It could continue to develop and just continue to have a tornado warning with this.
Yeah, because if you go to reflectivity, you can see that there's our notch, kind of where Conrad's got the tornado warning clicked right there, and then the interaction is happening out ahead of it, on the forward flank, and so it's far away from the area of rotation to where there's probably not going to be, at least initially, a lot of anything destructive when it comes to how those two storms are going to be interacting with each other. So the parent supercell is going to still remain very strong for the next easily 20 minutes out of this thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and let's kind of look at these areas here.
Yep, go ahead.
We get it. So it does look like McWillie, right around 9:13 p.m. So now is your time. You want to make sure you're in that tornado shelter. You're in that lowest level of your property. You're away from windows. Put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. And of course, maybe a bathroom would be a good idea as well. A bathtub, put something in between you, like a blanket or some pillows as well, because this is continuing to track into your area in McWillie. And then next in line, Salina, 9:20, Jet, 9:35 p.m. Rough estimates here as this continues to head a little bit more northeast, but that merger is continuing to be a thing here for us when it comes to this tornado warning in effect till around 9:30 p.m. time frame, so right around another 19 minutes or so. As of right now, it has not been extended, but we still have plenty of time for this to possibly get extended or not. It doesn't look as well developed as it did, 5-10 minutes ago, Jack, but still seeing a good amount of rotation here. You could see with our rotation detector, the yellow colors, that's indicating a lot more higher rotation, a lot more of that rotation, at least in the atmosphere as well. So when we start to see yellow colors like this, we start to really think about, hey, this could be an actual tornado that is on the ground, possibly on the ground right now. It's not confirmed just yet, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a tornado on the ground, because even though it's not confirmed just yet, Jack, it could be on the ground at the moment causing some damage.
Oh, yeah. Again, the nice thing is that this is in a very rural area, but there are still a number of locations that could be impacted by it. But one tornado warning that actually is confirmed, actually countered, is that Texas storm. So
yes.
that is an area that will be coming into Oklahoma, and you'll see we've got the confirmed polygon on that. So again, we're not really too concerned with it, but Jeff just did text me saying that he's actually going to get onto I-40 and kind of just wait around between Elk City and the Sayre area to kind of see where it goes and potentially intercept it there, right there on the Texas-Oklahoma line. So the Eric area, you are not in any warning right now, but we're going to be watching your area very closely, because let's say the next 45 minutes to an hour, that storm will get pretty close to the county or to the state line, and that will be, we'll have to watch out for additional warnings coming out of that. So that's an area to keep an eye out on.
Yep, and it does still have a lot of energy in there. Of course, it is a confirmed tornado till 9:45 p.m. As of right now, it's starting to get closer and closer to that border. It's not moving very fast, and like Jack, you were saying earlier, it's definitely popping up here a little bit later than the guidance was showing it would be popping up here, which means it might be a longer night for the severe weather potential going on through past midnight. That could most likely be a trend as well. But as of right now, just that one tornado warning in Oklahoma, with this confirmed tornado warning getting closer and closer to the Oklahoma border.
Let's take Jeff's shot, and let's talk with Jeff, because I want to hear what his thoughts are. Jeff, if you can hear us, we can see that you are on the move currently. What's the plan for you right now?
Yeah, so we're going to get back on I-40. We're going to head west and pretty much just intercept this thing right at the state line.
Yep, that's what I kind of thought that you would do. That's a good idea. Yeah, because what you're seeing down there, Jeff, is that you're still in the atmosphere down there is still really good. It's just, we've been saying now for a couple of times, it's just delayed, but by about 3 to 4 hours than what we were expecting. Still, when you've been kind of in and out of the car, still pretty humid down there, you'd say?
I'm sorry, you broke up. What?
Still pretty humid where you are when you've been kind of in and out of the car down there?
Yeah, it's really humid down here.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, so he's moved around a little bit, and he's in a spot now to where we've got, again, those higher dew points that'll be out there. And so the atmosphere is still good to go in that part of the state. So Jeff, thank you very much for that. And so again, so Jeff was on our little storm, and I'm not saying that storm, doesn't totally die out, but we're going to be, you said that little X.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. So that little storm there is just going to be continuing on, but I don't know if we're going to be watching that one for a whole lot longer. Might be kind of looking at it to be kind of in an area that's kind of worked over from the other storms that we have out there, but we will see. But so Jeff's going to go and get himself in a better position and reorient himself to be closer to that storm coming in out of Texas. So
yeah,
we'll
so it looks like he'll just continue this trajectory.
Yep. So we'll go back to our tornado warning, and because it'll be now a little bit of time before we check back in with Jeff, just because he's going to get himself into position. And so again, you can still see that we've got our supercell thunderstorm. Now at this point, it looks to be getting to be a little bit more ragged. It's kind of looking to be almost more of that that bean shape there, which you typically would see with kind of more of a weaker type of setup for anything tornado warning wise. You'd be looking at still that inflow notch there closer to the McWillie area. Let's see what it looks like on the velocity.
Yes, and it does look like tornado is likely now west of Helena.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be right there. Yeah, so it's going to be right there by just about a mile or so to the southeast of the McWillie area. That's going to be right where you have the interaction with the yellow or the green pixels and the red pixels there. That's where you've got your best area of circulation. And not noticing not noticing anything yellow in terms of our rotation detector, but a lot of just strong rotation being depicted there too. So it's going to be just off to, I think, your east of the McWillie area. But still, you guys there need to make sure that we're taking our precautions. A lot of hail with this storm as well. Just dumping a ton of hail as we've gone now throughout the evening. And so we've got, and that's the debris detector. So there's a lot of artifacts that are down there, which is not debris, but by the McWillie area, if you kind of zoom in really close to the McWillie area, there's a couple little zones there. There might be something there. It's tough to tell, but this is the inflow notch right there. It might be a bit contaminated with some, dust getting picked up and getting sucked into it, but that would be what we are watching there for our possible tornado. But again, it's all of our products are showing it to be, again, right in that same spot between the McWillie area and the Helena area. That is where we're concerned about the most.
Yeah, and right about there. So it's starting to look a little impressive still right now. Let me kind of time this out for us here. Okay. Let's go a little bit further out.
And I'm just checking a few things off screen
here.
So you can go ahead.
Yep, it looks like Jet would possibly get this, tornado warning here around 9:44 p.m. But as of right now, Jet is not included in this tornado warning, but it might get extended, might definitely continue to have that trajectory a little bit more northeast as of right now. But for now, it looks like just to the west of Helena. Now we're getting into that possible tornado, where that possible tornado could actually be as of right now. You can see that area of rotation. We're starting to see strong to even a couple areas here in the yellow. You could see that right there where the possible extreme rotation could be. Here, let me just clear this out. You could see the two areas that we're currently looking at right now. You see it right there. Those are the two areas okay, newest update just came in. So now we have a little bit more of a wider area.
And actually, go to the debris. Go to the debris, because there actually might be something there now. So yeah, you got State Highway 45 right there. You are currently, we're talking about it only being a couple miles away. We're talking about 2 miles to the south, or to the northeast of the McWillie area there. I bet that is actually debris being picked up right there. There might be a little bit in the way of some debris. I think that's going to be where we're going to have to watch out for. So we'll check the National Weather Service here in a second, but again, to show you here that we've got probably a tornado on the ground right there with our storm. Again, it'll be just to the north of Highway 45. It's going to be to the northeast there of the McWillie area by about 2 miles, and it's going to be moving off to about 25 or so miles per hour. Yeah, I mean, it's not picking up Helena on that scan, but you guys there need to make sure that we are in our storm shelter or our safe spot, again, a lowest level away from those windows, because we might be looking at a confirmed tornado. It's not warned just yet, but it's got the good look there on the reflectivity. It looked good on velocity, and then with, again, the debris that Conrad had just picked up there, there might be a little bit of that showing up. So need to make sure that we're taking our precautions here very, very seriously. Again, heading towards Jet, you're not in the tornado warning right now. You're in the big severe thunderstorm warning, but down the line, you guys also have to watch out for that potential as well.
Yep, and we're still looking at some pretty large hail, up to 1.5 inches when it comes to max hail size. As of right now, there might be some flying debris. Of course, you want to make sure you are in your tornado shelter. This isn't a confirmed tornado, but doesn't mean that an actual tornado is not on the ground. It is, nocturnal storm, so it's very dark outside, harder to see if there is an actual tornado on the ground, but there most likely is at least a tornado or at least a lot of rotation here in this area. It is moving at around 25 miles per hour north and east, so it is slowing down just a little bit. But overall, though, still looking at ping pong ball sized hail, which is, oh, look at that.
There you go. Yep. So, so there's our, go to our debris, because that's definitely where you can see it at there. So that is where we're watching. There's going to be that little debris ball that's going to show up. Yep, right there. So that little circle, that is our confirmed tornado. Still continues until 9:30. So the duration doesn't change, but there is our confirmed tornado. Yeah,
wow,
you've even got even the
wow.
oranges showing up there with our rotation detector. So extreme rotation being seen there. So again, McWillie, you are going to be at this point safe. But the Helena area, you still need to make sure that we are in our shelters or in our lowest level of our house, away from the windows, in that storm shelter or that safe spot. Just because, again, we've got a confirmed tornado now, and it does have debris. And so we can go back to the debris tracker there, Conrad, once you get your track up. And, you know, we'll do it. We'll just take a look at it from there. But, yeah, there it is. So definitely looking at a dangerous, dangerous storm. It's 9:21 at night, so we are obviously concerned about visibility because it is at night. And so this, again, remains a very, very dangerous storm. Its locations are obviously in a pretty rural spot within Oklahoma, but still, if you live anywhere near these spots, but especially by the Helena area and eventually Jet, you need to make sure that we are, again, going to our shelter or our safe spot, away from the windows, and getting to that lowest level, kind of the interior room at best, and just ride it out there quickly but calmly, because again, we've got now a pretty large area of debris. Conrad, if you could put the little ruler, do like a ruler distance there to see how wide that area of debris is. If not, I can do it on mine and just say it. But it's going to be a pretty large area. We're talking about easily, yeah, it's about a half-mile wide or so worth of, half mile to about a mile wide worth of rotation. Now, we've lost it there with that last scan, so it's a little bit less impressive looking, but we've got a very dangerous situation ongoing within portions of Alfalfa County right now until 9:30. So there is where it looks like with our velocity. Again, it is right there where he's clicking. And again, it's going to be passing just off to the northwest of the Helena area by only a couple miles. But if you live on the outside of town, you need to make sure that we are, again, in our shelter or in our safe spot, away from the windows and the lowest level, because this thing means business. This is a dangerous storm.
And it does look like it's you know, pretty much the most impressive we've seen out of this storm.
Yeah.
And that was after that merger. So remember, it weakened just a little bit like we were talking about, and then it intensified even more, and now it is a confirmed tornado. You know, you could even see that here with the rotation detector. The area is not only shown up as yellow now, this is very impressive because now a little bit of the darker yellow, kind of an orange color is popping up here, which does give us that indication that there's extreme you know, rotation there.
Yeah.
Very good sign. And it is on the ground right now, you know.
Yep.
Of course, it is that confirmed tornado.
Yeah, so we've got it until 9:27. We'll definitely get a new sort of polygon out of this because it's confirmed now. You've got a very, very large area there and a very just impressive looking area of rotation. Our notch looks good again. Now we just got our new scan there, kind of muddying up a little bit there, but it's still there. It is, again, just to the northwest of the Helena area. And so, again, if you live northwest of there, you need to make sure that we are, again, taking this thing extremely seriously. Even if you live in town, you need to make sure that we're still in our safe spot, away from the windows and on that lowest level, because we've got it confirmed. It is now nighttime, and it's a big storm, too, and potentially a big tornado on the ground. Now, we got a new tornado warning that just came out for that. It goes until 10:15, so we will take this until 10:15. It's heading basically directly for Jet and eventually toward the Great Salt Plains Lake in the actual radar dome itself, right there at the far eastern side of the state park there in the lake. Oh, I think it actually, okay, it's still confirmed actually. So we're still keeping the confirmed tornado until 10:15. So that's just how it came in our system really quickly. So it's ongoing still. So again, dangerous, dangerous storm within Alfalfa County right now. Current time is 9:24 on this Thursday evening. We've got a confirmed tornado. We've been tracking this tornado warning for, I think, over an hour at this point now, but it's now confirmed, and it's been confirmed and will stay that way because, again, it looks impressive as it's making its way towards the radar currently.
Yes, and we're seeing some pretty large hail with this as well, almost up to 2 inches in, you know, in the hail size, 1.75 inches, and continuing to track this, moving at around, you know, northeast at around 20 miles per hour. So it is slowing down just a little bit, but still overall, though, continuing to to go around 20 miles per hour. So at least it's something. It's not stationary, not just sitting there. But overall, though, it is slowing down just a little bit. Let's time this out for us here. Let me look at this. Okay.
I'm just looking at a couple things off my radar.
20 miles per hour. So, I mean, the only place still coming up is Jet around 9:47 here p.m. But overall, though, that confirmed tornado warning is extended now into, Alfalfa County here. But it is extended a little bit more north, closer to Great Salt Plains Lake, Vining as well. Jet, you're included in this once again for this confirmed tornado warning up until 10:15 p.m. time frame. So we're continuing to track this actual tornado that is on the ground right now, has been spotted, and there is still a very large area here when it comes to rotation here. Still seeing those yellow colors, a little bit orange colors in there as well. That's given us extreme rotation here in the atmosphere, but also down to the surface, as it is a confirmed tornado as well. And we're continuing to track the long track where we've seen the actual rotation of it, down closer to the ceiling earlier, a couple of hours ago, and then went into, Clio Springs area, just north of Fairview, and then now closer to, it was in McWillie. Now it's just a little bit more to the east of McWillie at the moment. As we look at the reflectivity, you could see that to the north now, in and around just north of Helena at the moment. That's where we're looking at the greatest rotation as of right now.
Yep, and so we've got Jet right there too. So Jet is going to be you're in the new polygon that will make its way towards you. And yeah, we'll keep it here on the debris tracker, Conrad. It's not sure if that's all debris. Okay, they got that new scan there, and it's pretty dark blue. And so let me see what road that's at, because that's going to be, I think, really where we're probably looking at still that tornado on the ground right now to still be right there.
On State Highway 58.
Yep, 58.
Going north.
Yeah, so and it's right there on the curve there between East 300 Road and heading towards East 290 Road, right there. So that's where we're, again, watching out for our confirmed tornado. It's going to be right in that area there, taking the curve along the highway. So again, if you live in this zone, you need to make sure that we are taking our precautions immediately, getting down the lowest level, away from the windows, just getting into that interior room, because again, this is a dangerous storm. That's a pretty big area of debris that we've been tracking, and it's in a pretty rural area too. So it does show you that this thing is probably a very strong tornado as it's moving off to the northeast at about 25-ish or 30 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and it's heading right towards East 280 Road. So if you're in any of these areas, even East 270 Road area, you want to make sure, right close to State Highway 58. So
yep.
You want to make sure you are definitely not on the roads. You want to make sure you are seeking shelter now. There is that confirmed tornado warning. You could still see that couplet there. Pretty decent area here when it comes to where this possible tornado could be, just north of Helena at the moment. We could see the rotation detector as well. Again, still looking very impressive. 2 areas of rotation, but where this possible tornado is actually, well, this tornado is on the ground right now. Confirmed tornado is just north of Helena as of right now. We're seeing the yellow, the orange colors indicating that extreme rotation, which has given us this very clear idea that, hey, there is that tornado that is on the ground. And
we are very close to the radar, so while that's a good thing right now, eventually it may potentially become a problem because we've got that storm, then the area of rotation might actually be very close to the radar, so we may kind of lose its look a little bit. But again, you can kind of see the Great Salt Plains Lake, and it's right there on the east coast of it. And so that will be one thing we'll have to see and watch out for over the next about 20 minutes or so. And you can see that there's that circle there. That's where that cone of silence is. You've also got, as Conrad's kind of moving around, you got a lot of just shower and storm activity south of the warning. Nothing going on impressive there. And we are also watching, too, those storms within Texas, too, because they're probably getting pretty close now. Yep, they're getting pretty close to the border. Our warnings take it to the actual state line until 10:15. So we're not too far away before that potential storm becomes crossing over and is by the Eric area, and that might be another storm that we are tracking for a long time too. We will see. we will see. But we'll go back up to our tornado warning within Alfalfa County.
And it looks like our tracker Jeff is just heading right towards that severe thunderstorm, that actual confirmed tornado as well in Texas right now.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens with that one. But as of right now, we're seeing this one confirmed tornado warning here in Oklahoma as of right now. It is confirmed. So there is a tornado on the ground as of right now.
Let's go back to our debris because it's still showing up there along Highway 58 and that East 280 right there. That is where we're still watching that area of debris being lofted into the air. So there's still a nice, clear, visible shot there that we're going to be watching for. So it's going to be moving very, very close to the Vance Air Force Base radar site, but not there yet. So we got a good view of it. And so yeah, we've got this storm that we continue to watch until 10:15, and then at some point we'll also be watching out for the new storms coming in from Texas as well. But we'll keep it here right now, Cameron, unless you got anything new there that you want to point out.
With the current updates, let's see. They're just mentioning where that confirmed tornado warning is starting to come in closer and closer to Oklahoma border. But as of right now, this would be the only confirmed tornado that we're actually seeing here in Oklahoma. No updates as of the last few minutes on this one, but still seeing this confirmed tornado warning in effect till 10:15 p.m. time frame. Let's take a look at the hail. So, let's take a look at the rotation first. So you can see the larger area here where the rotation was and is as of right now.
Still big, yeah.
Still very large, yeah. Still seeing those yellow and orange colors.
Yep. What does it look like on velocity? Let's just see if that can back that up. Yeah, so I mean, it's now, okay, so now I think what's probably happening is this thing might be turning a bit farther to the east now, turning more to the right, because now you've got that area of circulation now to the east of Highway 58. What does the debris show? Because that may be looking at it, and also, okay, so there's that little area right there. So we might be looking at the debris crossing over to the east now of Highway 58, but we will definitely check it out. Appreciate that. So.
Yeah, so no, currently seeing that, confirmed tornado warning in and around this area that we are currently highlighting here. Let me go back to possible reflectivity here. Yeah, so anywhere in this area where you see my mouse right now, this is where that possible tornado could be and is as of right now because it is this confirmed tornado. You can see the green, the red colors very close to each other. And then also when we're looking at the rotation detector, of course, like we were saying, the yellow and orange colors are pretty high, very high indications here, extreme rotation here happening. And since this is a confirmed tornado now, it has been spotted. It is on the ground with new updates continuing to come in. Overall, though, looking at this newest update that just came in right now. So
yeah, they basically just tightened up the warning polygon. So Jet is now pretty much going to be the only town that's going to show up in this polygon now itself. As well as also heading towards, again, the Great Salt Plains Lake. So that's really all that's going to show up when you do this track. So, yeah, Jet, 9:45, 10 o'clock, the lake. And so we're going to be looking at this confirmed tornado to still be moving off in that northeast direction at about 30-ish miles per hour, producing also very large hail, too. But we are now getting very, very close to the radar. And so that may begin to kind of play with what we're actually seeing. So we're in a good range for a little bit, but then now we might be getting a little bit too close to where there might be some interesting things that show up on the radar. But you can see that we are not that far away from it, only just a handful of miles, really.
And then let me take a little bit more of a wider view here. Let me put on the reflectivity. Okay, so we're in live. You could see how very close to the actual radar it's getting. So as it gets closer to it, we might not get the best picture on this. So
yeah, because it's only 5 miles. The center of circulation is only 5 miles southwest of the radar, and then a lot of the storm is actually over the radar itself. So we might be kind of losing some of that data as it's right over it. But again, that area of rotation remains tight where it's at. But again, it might be almost kind of sneaking in under the radar because it's getting very, very close to it.
Yes, no, absolutely.
So we lost that other little severe thunderstorm warning that was in between, that little storm that Jeff was on earlier, that little cell there by the Leedy area and north of Butler. That thing has now died out, and so that's nothing anymore. So now we've got, again, our big supercell in Alfalfa County, and then the storms coming in out of Texas. Those are going to be it. And so That storm that's by Shamrock, that's the one that we're going to be watching closely. It's still got a confirmed tornado on that one too. So as Jeff makes his way towards the Eric area, that's definitely going to be prime position to catch that storm. So he moved around a little bit down there because we were wondering if we're going to be able to catch any storms, but these Texas storms might prove that he was down in the right spot this entire time. It just took significantly later on into the night to actually get some of those storms. So we'll come back to him, but again, we're obviously focusing in on our jet storm right now, and that goes still until 10:15. 10:15. So you've got the supercell itself is bleeding over into areas like Nash and the Hawley area and Gilbert and also Sand Creek, because this again is a huge supercell thunderstorm. But most of the actual dangerous parts of it, besides the tornado warning, you've also got most of the hail and the wind. Those are also within the Alfalfa County area. So yeah, you can see that we are still super close now to the radar, and so that's what it's showing up as in terms of just that's what it looks like. As you get close to the radar, it will kind of look to be a little bit odd.
Yeah, it's getting very, very close to jet and also getting very close to where our actual radar is. You can see that up there, right? So where the actual radar is, that's exactly where the confirmed tornado warning is still extended until. But we are continuing to track this, moving around 20 miles per hour. We'll see if it actually picks up a little bit of steam and a little bit of speed on this. But as of right now, we are seeing this larger area of rotation here, the rotation detector just south of jet. So if you do live in and around jet, you want to make sure you are in that tornado shelter. You're in that lowest level of your property, inside a sturdy building. You do not want to be outside. You do not want to be driving in this as well. You do not want to be in a trailer home. Trailer homes are not safe areas when it comes to actual tornadoes, but overall, though, you want to be inside your home, lowest level of your property, away from windows, away from doors, and a bathtub, a bathroom is another really good spot, a closet,
Absolutely.
really good spot to be inside, and then also maybe a blanket or some pillows up around you is also very, very helpful to put just at least that layer in case any windows or anything like that shatters and there's any projectile in the form of glass or anything else out there. So you do want to make sure you are taking this extremely serious.
So yeah, let's take a look at what it looks like with the debris. Keep it right there and just see if we can see yeah, it's going to be kind of weird looking now. But go to velocity and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so we're probably looking at it's probably going to pass south of jet, I would think at this point, based on how it's moving. But it's very close by only about 2 miles. And
Very close.
it's a large area of rotation that we're watching too, and lots of in the way of large hail too. So it's going to be difficult for you to see coming into the jet area, but it's going to be very close. You guys need to make sure that we're again in our safe spot and in our shelter, lowest level, just like Conrad had said, because this thing is going to be passing very, very close to you. And I know too, it's on my computer because I can see it, but I've got some very strong winds, and with it being just so close to the radar, we are going to be able to get some. The winds will actually be pretty indicative of what it looks like at the surface. So I mean, we are still only a few miles away from the actual radar itself, and it is going to be looking at potentially wind gusts. That the radar is picking up on, about 90 miles an hour, not that high off the ground. So it does show you that we have got a still very potent storm as it makes its way farther and farther to the northeast, closer to the jet area. But yeah, that's going to be really close to watch you guys there in the jet area. And it's getting messy because, again, we are so close to the radar. But
very close.
Yeah, jet, we got to make sure that we are in our precautions and taking shelter. But yeah, you can kind of see there, it might be trying to turn a little bit harder to the right, a little bit more to a easterly movement. It might just pass to the south of jet, but I can't guarantee that right now because we're pretty close to it. We need basically two more radar images to kind of get that. So I'd still say jet. We're still seeking shelter. We're still in our safe spot for sure with this thing.
Yeah, it might just move south of jet like you were just saying, but you still want to make sure you are prepared because, it's a massive storm. It could move left and right anytime.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So especially if you live in jet and then just a little bit east there on Highway 64. Nash, you guys are outside of the polygon. You guys are okay. But I think, though, that to the east of Jet along Highway 64 is where we're going to be looking at that potential crossing of that tornado. Yeah, and we're watching, too, some of that rotation. I think it's going to be passing, again, just to your southeast in the Jet area. But still, though, it's a big storm, and we need to make sure that we're, again, still taking this thing very seriously because it is very, very close. And as we've been talking about, it's hard to do when we're this close to the radar.
And it does look like some large hail is in and around Jet as well, up to even close to 2 inches in a few spots. So we have definitely a wide area for, weak and strong rotation, but the strong rotation and extreme rotation, you can see that there, right? So I'm clicking where the yellow and orange colors are. It's showing the extreme rotation in and around Jet. As of right now, downtown Jet, seeing a weak rotation, but it does look like this confirmed tornado is just south and east of Jet right now, and it does look like it might just miss Jet, but you still want to make sure you are well prepared for anything that could possibly transpire with this actual confirmed tornado warning right now. Yeah,
because as you can see, we are extremely close to the radar, but I still think, though, that it's kind of come down a little bit in the overall intensity and the look, even though we are really close to it. I still think, though, that it's overall probably come down a bit in intensity. And yeah, we are still watching those storms within Texas. This is still a really good environment where Jeff is at. It was always the play down there. We just got a little distracted with these storms that were able to form and get the tornado warning. But Jeff is going to be in a really good position there within Eric to then intercept the storm coming in out of Texas. It still has got its confirmed tornado warning tag on that as well. And so, again, we're going to be watching that one closely because that one might be the supercell that we then track for a while. So Jeff is getting really close. We'll check in with him in a little bit. And at 9:45, I don't think any one of our warnings are going to cancel out. So we're still looking at, again, 10:30 for the severe thunderstorm warning. And that's a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that came out there. And so that's for now going into Grant County. So I think because, like we actually were just kind of noticing, the storm was trying to turn a bit farther to the right, and so because of that, we might be looking at that to be a potential new direction that it moves into. So Nash, we were kind of saying that you guys were okay, maybe not actually at this point. So you're not in a tornado warning, but you're in a severe thunderstorm warning. But if this thing is turning farther and harder to the right, that might be an indication that we need to be watching out for in that part of Grant County.
Yeah, and when it comes to actual rotation tech, they're not quite as large in that one area, but there is still a few areas where the possible rotation still has that confirmed tornado tag. So it still looks like it is on the ground as of right now. We'll see what the newest update actually says, but we do still have close to 32 minutes or so with this confirmed tornado warning. But the way it's moving now, Jack, moving closer a little bit more to the east. I wouldn't be surprised if they add another, tag here coming up very soon, a little bit more to the east of where this actual confirmed tornado warning is right now.
Go to the debris tracker. Let's see what that looks like. So it's all pretty contaminated. I mean, there might even still be something, but especially kind of, again, around Highway 64 where it's kind of clicking. But that's really tough to tell because we are, again, as you can see, super close to the radar then at that point. Put it on reflectivity and do a little 15-minute time lapse and kind of zoom out just a little bit to kind of see if we can see that turn. Oh, okay, so actually what might be happening is we might be looking at another cell merger happening there. Zoom out a little bit more. You can kind of see there's actually, so we have actually now a lot more in the way of competition with the atmosphere out there right now. So our storm was all by itself and in fact had that feeder storm which was then able to get the confirmed tag to go on it. Now we've got a lot more competition with these storms getting sucked into it and it might not be able to endure that type of interaction because earlier on when we had that one cell merger, it was out ahead of the storm in kind of the forward flank of it. These storms countered, as you can see, are coming in right where that tornado would be. And so it might be getting kind of messy with that. So there's going to be definitely an interaction that might be actually detrimental to that storm temporarily before it maybe tries to strengthen back up again. We don't know. But I think that one might hurt it a bit more than help it.
Yeah, we'll see if they do extend this confirmed tornado warning. I do think they're going to at least extend it the way it's moving right now. Still has a lot of energy and rotation with this. You can see that right there.
Yeah.
Still has a lot of rotation. So definitely not going to be surprised if they extend it here very, very, very soon. I'm just trying to see if it's going to be an actual tornado warning or a confirmed tornado warning. Let's see if the chat has said anything. The newest update, they're saying large tornado continues near the county line between Jet and Nash. So exactly where that rotation detector is.
Yep.
Oh, no. Pretty large area right now.
Yeah, so we are definitely watching that to be our area of concern. We've got, yeah, I mean, we're so close to the edge there of the polygon. It would not surprise me if we get a new tornado warning that comes out of there.
Like very, very soon.
Very, very soon. So Nash, you guys are really
Seconds.
close. Need to make sure that even though Nash, you are in a severe thunderstorm warning, you are very close to that. Need to make sure that we're taking our tornado precautions and getting to your safe spot there because it's going to be passing pretty close to you, we think. Maybe just a bit to your north, but there's a lot of, it's a big area of rotation. What does it look like in velocity, Conrad?
Okay, let me see.
Because it almost looks, yeah, so there, yep, okay, and we got the confirmed still with the new thing. So now as it's trying to, so, okay, thankfully, we're not going to have it go directly over the radar, which is good, because then that would make it impossible to see. But you can see now that we're going to be taking a look at a different direction. It's not moving directly towards the radar anymore. Now you've got actually a little bit of a better picture, despite the fact that we are so close to it. So that helps us out tremendously when it starts to move in a different direction. That's actually now gotten a lot tighter. And it was hard to tell before because of how it was moving towards the radar. Now we've got it moving, you know, slightly away from it now, and that's going to be looking a lot more impressive. So now Grant County has got that new confirmed tornado warning until 10:30, and it would be including Nash, Hawley, Gilbert areas, and Pond Creek is on the very, very edge. But let me read, Conrad, what that says for the new tornado warning. We can get the new update there. So we got also large hail too, golf ball size, but it is moving now to the northeast at 30 miles an hour. But I'd probably actually say it's actually probably closer to more of like an east-northeast. So Nash, you guys need to make sure that we are taking our tornado precautions, getting down into our shelter as it's, again, a very large tornado. In fact, now at this point, I think because of how big that looks like on our rotation detector, it might be picking up actually the whole thing because it's so close. So yeah, if you zoom in there, Conrad, you can see that it may not pick up Nash, but Nash, you still got to do it. Hawley, Gilbert, Hawley at 9:49, Gilbert at 10:08. I need to make sure that we're taking our tornado precautions because this tornado, in fact, Conrad, I'm almost wondering if you go back to that rotation detector again, you actually might be able to see like the actual inside of the tornado, like the hole, like the eye of the tornado there. That might be huge. So we are looking at this thing to be north of Main Street, right there along, what is the north-south road there, Conrad? Yeah,
North Road, yep, 220 Road.
Yeah, okay, and then you got East 230, East 220. It is right there. That actually very well could be the whole tornado itself, and you can kind of see the hole there. That actually might be it picking it up there. This again remains, and it might be because we are so close to the radar that we can see that now so clearly. That thing looks to be very, very impressive.
So let me just back it up here a little bit because I did see that hole not that long ago.
Yeah,
here,
right there.
You see that?
Yeah, yeah.
That was around 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, so that would be, again, crossing over Main Street, and then, yeah, that north 2750, I think is what you said, road.
Yes.
So, yeah, Nash, you need to make sure that we are taking our precautions right now. It might be passing just to your north, but this thing is big. This thing is a very large tornado, and it's confirmed. Let's see what debris looks like, Conrad. Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's it. That's got to be it there, right there. So that is a big tornado that is on the ground right now. So, again, very, very dangerous situation. It probably is going to be passing to the north of Nash, but just only by a little bit. So Nash, and if you live north of Nash especially, between Nash and Hawley, you guys need to make sure that we are taking our precautions. This is a dangerous storm, and it's going to be producing potentially a very large tornado. We've got it confirmed, so we know it's on the ground, and it looks to be very impressive looking on velocity because now it's moving in a direction that we can see it really easily because we're so close to the radar, but its movement actually kind of helps us out in this instance. Again, yeah, that looks really impressive there. Really, really impressive. Yeah, now that might actually be too close to the radar to use that very well, Conrad. So we'll stick with velocity. Yeah, that thing is very dangerous. So we need to make sure, again, that we are taking our precautions very seriously. North 2750, that is going to be the storm is going to be just to the east of north 2750. And the tornado will probably be right there along east 220 and east 210, probably right in that zone where Conrad is circled. That's going to be where it's at. It's going to be heading towards State Highway 132. The yellow line right there, that is State Highway 132. And so we are very close to the jet area, and we're very close to the Advanced Air Force Base radar at the eastern coast there of the lake. And so you've got, again, a very, very dangerous situation with this storm as we are super close to the radar. And that's why we're looking at all this weird stuff happening right there. Let's see what it looks like on velocity, just to double check. Yep, so there it is. There it is. So again, we've got to make sure that we are taking our precautions in this part of Grant County right now.
Yep, as of right now, it is getting very, very close to the radar, but as it heads, in that northeast trajectory, it's going to be going away from the radar, so we'll get a little bit more of a clearer picture when it comes to the actual debris, the hail core with this, the velocity, and even the reflectivity is going to get a lot better as it heads a little bit more away from the actual radar. You can see where that radar is at just to the north there.
Go to debris again, because I think debris tightened back. Yep, debris tightened back up again. So there it is right there. So again, we are only, okay, we're like 2 miles away from the radar. So it is right there. So we've got to make sure that we are taking our precautions seriously. And with the low-level jet getting kicked up right now, a south to north wind, I think this tornado now is actually now not moving east anymore. It might be moving more north than it is to the northeast now. So Hawley might be now more at risk coming in at 10:06, but these times might not actually be very good because of the kind of overall, we call it deviant motion, when the tornado itself kind of occludes along the actual storm itself. And it's tough to tell right now because we're only 2 miles away from the radar. But we are thinking, though, that it might be moving a little bit farther off to the north than it is to the northeast. But, Hawley, Gilbert, Sand Creek, you guys need to make sure that we are taking our precautions. And, yeah, Sand Creek isn't in anything right now. But it's definitely possible that you guys could get something out of this very closely. There might also even be another little one back off to the kind of southwest from there, but you can see Hawley there at 10:01, Gilbert at 10:10, Sand Creek at 10:11, and then Wakita, our twister, could get there at 10:21. There's a lot of rotation happening right there. And yeah, there
even
might
south too.
And then to the south too. I know it's going to look weird, Conrad. Go to the reflectivity and zoom out again, because I wonder now. Yeah, I wonder now. We've got all these storms just coming on in and getting sucked in from the south, and put a little bit of a motion on there for 15 minutes, and we'll see. The way that it's moving right now, these storms are coming on in from the south, moving to the north and to the northeast. It might be causing that deviant motion where it then causes the tornado itself to move more north than it does to the northeast. So this polygon, we might have to get another one out there.
Extended, to the north.
Yeah, extended to the north, yeah. So again, that's hard to do because, again, not only is it a dangerous situation as it is anyways, we do have some blind spots, obviously, with it being just so tremendously close to the radar there. But where we can see it, it's going to be really, really good and really clear.
Yes, and with the newest updates coming on through, like you were just saying, the strong low-level jet, the deviation motion with any occluding tornadoes will be due north. So it is heading a little bit more into that north trajectory. So with this polygon here, right, it shows the confirmed tornado warning just to the north, but now it most likely will get extended a bit more to the north just because of the way it's moving with the collision with these thunderstorms just to the south now.
Now I will say though, Alfalfa County, we can go ahead and stop with the laps, but Alfalfa County now has no more tornado warnings anymore. So that's good news. Jet, you can come out of your shelter or your safe spots. You're basically on the back side of the storm now, and there's obviously some additional storms behind it, but those are not the ones that we're concerned about. Yeah, I mean, it's still a big area of rotation, even if it does look to be distorted by how close this thing is to the radar. The debris tracker, it's probably right where that little green spot is, and that's going to be, by south of Grant Road there and near north 2770 Road. That is where we'd be looking at our tornado, but you can see just how close it is to the radar. And I think we got a new tornado warning polygon. Zoom out again a little bit.
We did.
You did? Okay, yep. And so that makes sense. That, where counted was clicked, that is it right there where my finger is. That's a tornado. So we had to now go north. And so this goes now until 10:45 because everything is now, it's occluding on itself, or it's getting wrapped around itself. And so now this storm is powerful enough to where you've got the motion kind of moving in a more northeast and eventually northerly motion. And we've seen this happen a lot of times, especially last year. We had a lot of deviant motion tornado warnings, but we've never had it where it's basically just sitting on top of the radar. And with us not being able to use, when it does go over Twin Lakes radar, we can use the airport radar to kind of help us out. We don't have that necessarily here, but yeah, there it is right there on velocity. It shows up there nicely, but you can see just how close it is to that radar. Incredible, incredible.
Very, very, very close. So, I mean, at least it did not go right on top of this radar because we can't afford it going down. But overall, though, it is just to the east of the radar as of right now, and there might be multiple areas of rotation here. Of course, we're just so close to the radar. We're not getting the clearest and the best information coming on in, but we already know it is a confirmed tornado somewhere in this area here, close to Grant Road, on its way to Greer Road as well, closer to Hawley. But just to the west of Hawley as of right now.
Yeah, and basically how these things have been moving, I almost wonder if it almost doesn't get to State Highway 132 in the Hawley area. It might be tracking just basically straight north.
Just more north,
yeah. We will see. It's kind of almost basically just kind of curving around the radar as it's moving into that zone there. You could actually even see
the
as
motion.
it's the motion of it. And right there at the very last scene there, it looks to be maybe slightly less impressive because a lot of times what happens is when these things occlude on themselves and they wrap up around themselves, once they get to the northern part of their trajectory, that's when they kind of peter out and spin out. So we might be looking at that to be occurring there, but it's just tough to tell because the radar is right there, And so it does kind of blind us a little bit because you can't have, the radar doesn't point straight up. It doesn't point straight up. So that's why you've got that circle there, that hole. That's what we call the cone of silence, and that's directly over the radar.
A lot of areas of rotation here.
Yep.
Just west of Hawley.
Yeah. And let's see if debris is showing anything again. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be...
Not as much.
Yeah, they're going to be right there where you've got that clicked, but it's overall, though, not really all that impressive anymore, which is good. We don't want that to look good at all. But we are so close to the radar that a lot of times the beam height is going to be too low on the storm, and so it may actually kind of miss what's happening higher up in the storm.
Yeah, and still looking at it changing a little bit more of that trajectory, more to the north. So Hawley, you're not out of the woods just yet, just because of how it's been changing directions when it comes to this actual confirmed tornado. So if you're in Hawley, you still want to be on very, very heightened alert. You still want to be prepared. If I was you, I would be in that tornado shelter just in case it changes directions, and instead of going a little bit more north, starts to head a bit more to the north and east, because Hawley, you are right there, very close to where this tornado could be. And you could see it here with the base velocity, not the clearest picture because of how close we are to the actual radar. You could see that right there where my mouse is at, very, very close, within, a mile, mile and a half or so as of right now. But overall, though, still looking at a little bit of hail, that hail swath coming in towards Hawley once again, and then a little bit more to the north. So west of Gilbert right now is where more of that hail core is, but a good amount of areas of rotation as well as of right now in and around Hawley. But just to the west is where we're seeing more of that strong to extreme rotation detector popping up here.
All right, so current time is just about 10 o'clock, so you're now watching the Fox 25 late edition. We still have our tornado warning until 10:30, which would take us to the end of the late edition, where we are tracking the storm that is in Grant County. Conrad, we do want to go to that storm eventually, but I actually want to go to the storm that's down by Jeff, because we are watching that storm coming into Eric. If you click on that one, That one's going to go until 10:45, but it does actually have the tornado possible tag on it because that's the storm that is tornado warned within Texas right now. We do have our storm tracker Jeff Porter out there. Conrad, if you could just pull up his shot full screen.
Oh.
Jeff, we've got you up and we'll take it full screen. Obviously, you are getting close to that storm by Eric. What are you seeing as you're approaching that severe thunderstorm warned storm?
Right now, we're not really seeing a whole lot. Lightning is diminished, especially compared to that storm we were on just a little bit ago in Sayre. But we're just going to hang out here in Eric for a little bit longer and wait for it to come across the state line.
Yeah, because on the radar, you're now in the good prime position to pick up that storm as it crosses over into Oklahoma. So, yeah, we knew it was going to take a little bit of time for you to get into position, and now you're getting there. So we'll be checking back in with Jeff a bit more often now at this point, just because he's getting closer and he's in the right spot. You can see a lot of lightning on his shot there. So again, the storm that's coming in from Texas remains tornado warned, but he is now sitting up into position to intercept that storm. And we do have, though, actually back within Alfalfa County, Conrad, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for some spots that we were calling out earlier on. So if we go back up to our tornado warned storm, and you'll see that we got a new severe thunderstorm warning out behind it. And that one is, includes some of these same spots that we were talking about earlier on. Jet's back in a warning now. Cherokee is now in a warning again. Vining is now back in a warning. But it's a severe thunderstorm warning, and I think it's primarily more for that hail threat with that storm up there.
Yes, and we did see that merger with those thunderstorms that were just to the south of the actual confirmed tornado warning. But now what is going to happen, it looks like National Weather Service might go back down to a base tornado warning with this confirmed tornado.
Yep, so you can see that there. It's going to, our system isn't going to cancel that confirmed tornado warning, so it's going to still be, unfortunately, flashing there for the next 29 minutes until 10:30. But you can see that the actual red polygon itself is where we are currently looking at actually the most up-to-date information there. So Holly, you are in it. Gilbert, you are in it. And I think Wakita and Sand Creek are also in it too. But we got to be, well, let's take a look at what it looks like with velocity there, Conrad, to get a better idea, because it's now really messy with reflectivity. Okay, so you've probably got the occluded older tornado warning, to the north of the regular tornado warning. So that's where that green and the red interact there with the inbound and the outbound winds. But that's going to be off to your basically west of the Hawley area. But I think, though, at this point that we have to kind of watch out for maybe some new options for there to be some spin-ups in the kind of more farther out edges of that storm approaching the Hawley area. So again, when these deviant motion types of tornado warnings take place, they can be quite confusing, and it's going to be hard to put tracks on a lot of these. So we have to just almost kind of call out the entire polygon, because we're not sure if it's going to be trying to move more to the northeast, or if it starts that direction and then starts to curl back to the north and to the northwest direction, where it then includes out on itself. We just have to kind of see how that plays out. But again, there's a number of tornado warnings, but we're probably going to be looking at it to be more baseline now until 10:30. Still, though, a storm that can be easily capable of putting another one down again at no point.
Yeah, and it's showing here, Jack, that this tornado warning, this confirmed tornado warning, it's around 5 miles north of Nash. So you can see Nash here on the bottom screen where my mouse is at, and then 5 miles north. So that's closer, let's say, just to the west of Hawley at the moment. It is moving a little bit slower. It's moving north and east at 15 miles per hour. So it does look like it's going a bit more slower compared to what it was doing, around 30 minutes ago or so. But still seeing golf ball sized hail. So getting closer to 1.75 inches when it comes to the actual hail size here. Reflectivity is going to continue to get better as we head, away from this actual radar. You can see where this radar is at right there. You see that little circle? Let me circle this for you guys. This is where the radar is at. And the closer you are to the radar, the messier everything is going to look. But as we start to head a little bit away from the radar, now we'll start to see this looking a little bit more impressive here in our reflectivity, our velocity, our shear rates as well. So we'll continue to track this actual tornado warning here.
Yeah, and when it comes to Yeah, velocity looks like that. What does storm relative velocity look like? See, that looks a little bit different if it's easier to pick up. Yeah, it's tough.
Tough, yeah.
What about debris? If you can see any debris, and that's yeah, it's
not
also
as
tough
much.
too. So, yeah, so it's I think it makes sense that we've gone down now to a regular tornado warning instead of confirmed. But it's gonna be tough to tell in this environment right now because it's quite messy. And if they're moving in different directions, we put a track on one thing, and then it changes direction in a different scan. It's going to be a little bit more confusing there.
It does, but I would say if you're in and around Hawley, you want to make sure you are, prepared. You want to make sure you are in that tornado shelter just in case, because we are so close to this radar. We're not getting the clearest picture on everything where this tornado could actually be. So any of these areas here, even closer to Gilbert, right? Yep. Gilbert, you're going to be next in line, so you want to make sure you're prepared. Now, it is moving at northeast around 15 miles an hour, but even if you're in and around Gilbert, you also want to make sure you are in that tornado shelter here, just making sure you're, safe and sound. For example, like Trenton Road here, close to Gilbert, Harper Road as well, North 2820 Road. That is another one where you really want to make sure you are well prepared. Same story, just anywhere around that Harper Road area, close to that State Highway 132. Overall, though, and same story close to the Sand Creek, you also want to be on heightened alert. Also want to make sure you are going to that tornado shelter, just because in and around, somewhere in and around Hawley, that's where that possible tornado could be right now.
Yeah. So it's confusing with the way it's moving. It's confusing because we got the radar being right there. I almost wonder now if there's kind of stay. Zoom in a little bit more, Cameron, but not that close. Now I almost wonder now if there's a little bit of a new notch trying to show up there to the north and to the northeast there of the Nash area, between Nash and Hawley. There's a bit of a notch starting to show up there on the reflectivity, and I wonder if that's our new area that we have to kind of see. So it might be more of those areas of southern rotation south of the Hawley area that we'd have to see and watch out for. There may even be another little notch closer to the Gilbert area too. It's really tough to tell at this point where it's at. So yeah, you gotta tell where it is kind of there. Another little bit of a notch, but it is tough to tell. And the way that it's moving in relation to where it is and with the radar, sometimes you do kind of lose it a bit when it travels almost perpendicular. Or when it almost travels parallel to the radar, then it becomes very, very tough to tell sometimes. So we will definitely be keeping a close eye on how this progresses. But still, all this entire area there of Grant County, you need to make sure that we're, again, taking our precautions. Again, from a debris standpoint, you can't really see anything there.
No.
There's maybe some little pockets, but it's quite tough. It's quite tough to tell.
Even with the hail, the hail you could still see, many areas here where the possible hail could be at the moment, but overall though, still very tough to kind of tell where. Here, let me just click on this. So just trying to show you this possible rotation detector here, just to the west of Hawley right now. It's a bit more strong, but there's many areas of strong rotation all over the area. So we don't have a well-defined area of where the extreme rotation is and was. Earlier, it was very present, but now it's a little bit tougher to see where it could possibly be at.
Yeah, so we'll continue to watch this storm. Let's go back down to our Eric storm, Conrad, just to kind of show people where that is at. So that storm is now coming in to southwest Oklahoma, and that is where we've got Jeff. And so we could actually just take Jeff's shot full screen, Conrad, and we'll just take it there. Jeff, if you can hear us, we've got your shot pulled up. Looks like you just pulled off a ton of lightning there. What are you seeing where your location is at right now?
Yeah, so we're just going to be just southwest of Eric on Old Highway 40 here. What we're seeing ahead of us is it looks like where the lowering would be in the notch of the storm, where the tornado potentially would be if there is one right now.
Yeah, because the severe thunderstorm warning that Jeff is on does have that tornado possible tag on it. As you're looking, Jeff, can you see any lowering within the lightning flashes?
It's a little difficult. We do have a somewhat of a lowering. We're not sure if it's a actual attached to the cloud base or not yet.
Gotcha. I know you're a little far. Oh, yeah, good lightning strike there. I know you're a little far out. Have you seen any hail with it yet, or are you just starting to get some raindrops?
We're outside the hail right now, but yeah, we are just starting to get some raindrops.
Okay. So yeah, Jeff is in prime position. We'll be checking in with him again pretty soon because, as you can see, there's that tornado warning within Texas. It goes until 10:30 there. That's Collingsworth and Wheeler counties in Texas. Those will be they're right there. So that's that storm coming on in, and there have been multiple notches with that storm coming on in closer towards Eric. So again, Jeff is in a great spot to intercept that storm. He just has to wait a little bit longer until it gets to him, but he's almost there. And then between that, then there's really nothing until you get back into Alfalfa County again, where you've got that newer kind of severe thunderstorm warning that we had pop up a little bit ago. And that one's because basically the storm behind our storm is impressive looking with there's actually a lot of, I've got it on my computer over here, there's a lot of lightning with that one, and that one also looks to be impressive too. Let's
A lot of lightning, yeah.
yeah
Wow.
Click on that Barron button to see how big that that hail size is going to be on there. Yeah, so you've got a number of smaller hail cores there. I might actually be kind of underestimating things a little bit with that, but yeah, coming in 1.5 inches, I would imagine that's actually probably the case. And then you've got our bigger hailstones within all of our severe thunderstorm and tornado warned storms that are in more of Grant County there. But yeah, we've got that storm behind it, maybe not tornadic, but also still packing a punch with gusty winds and some large hail too.
Yeah, and it looks like the largest hail as of right now, I mean, there's a couple areas of the largest hail. That's the southern part here. Just zoom out real quick. In this area here, just north of McWillie, that's where hail possibility of around 1.5 inches. And the same story where this actual tornado warning is right now in and around Hawley. That's where we're seeing a possibility for 1.5 inches plus hail all over the area. So that's where it gets very damaging.
Yep.
Getting closer to Gilbert as well. So the hail is just going to continue to increase in size heading towards Gilbert. As of right now, Gilbert, you might be seeing hail around 1/2 inch. So it's starting to actually pick up in that area there.
Yeah, so this, and it's, you can see just how big this hail core is too. So there's just a lot of precipitation, a lot of hail with this, the strong winds as well, and then additionally, we still continue to talk about that tornado warning as well, and that continues until 10:30. So we have 18 more minutes, I believe, on that tornado warning that we've got, and then 10:45 for the actual severe thunderstorm warning that surrounds it.
Correct.
So we've got basically 2 storms that we're watching. We got the one that we have on the radar. We've got on the other side of your screen there, that is our storm tracker, Jeff Porter. He's out with the storm that's by Eric. So there's basically 2 zones that we're watching, separated by really a atmosphere that is good to go, and there's really not much activity within that zone right now. But that storm is now just trying to make its way into Texas, while the other storm is trying to make its way into portions of Kansas. So we're still watching that. And as you can see now, as Conrad's moving on in, now there's a bit more of a kind of well-defined notch again back by the Hawley area and a little bit to the kind of east there of the Hawley area. There's a bit more, you know, our storm now I think is going to be moving a bit more to the north-northeast. And so that will be the area that we might have to watch out for an additional, you know, tornado warning to come out of. But it would be kind of right there where I've got that. And that will eventually try to close back up a little bit as that tightens up, as it moves on off to the northeast.
Yeah, it looks like there's a tornado warning coming for Beckham County here.
Okay,
so
there we go.
That will be our second tornado here coming into Oklahoma. As of right now, we got that one up north, and then the second one is going to be popping up here any second now in Beckham County. So that's pretty much where Jeff is at. So he's in a really good spot to try and get some pictures here, videos of this tornado warning that is about to hit Beckham County here in Oklahoma. So that's going to be our second one for the state.
Let's turn on the what's a good radar here, because we're kind of far to turn on the Frederick radar.
Yep.
Yeah, and I know like we're kind of close, so we could use Amarillo, but
Let me try that one.
it's about the same-ish. When we get that tornado warning to pop up, we'll do the track, and then once we get that track done, then we'll take Jeff's shot. But we'll wait here just for a second. So Eric is probably going to be in this new tornado warning that'll be coming out. Same with the Hext area in Mayfield. Basically, these locations that are within the severe thunderstorm warning are probably going to be looking at a kind of a bigger overlap with that tornado warning too.
Yes.
So just wait just a moment for it to come out. It'll probably be here in a second, as that storm is now trying to cross on over right now into portions of Oklahoma from Texas. What does it look like on velocity? That may help us out a little bit better to see where that area is. Base is okay, and let's see what storm relative looks like. Well, you've got the green is showing up there within the red. If that's going to be it, would actually probably be where it is. And so Jeff really might be in a fantastic spot near the Eric area to see this thing.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, rotation detector.
While we're waiting for it, let's actually just take Jeff full screen here, Conrad, and
see what he's seeing.
Yeah, Jeff, we got you up right now. What are you seeing as that storm is closing in on your location?
Yeah, so we just saw a lowering. It dipped out of the cloud base, very thin, and then the next lightning flash, it was gone.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's still kind of transient with how things are moving. Have you noticed an increase or a decrease in the amount of lightning strikes that you've seen with it?
The lightning strikes seem to be actually increasing. Sorry,
Okay.
we're getting in a tornado warning right now. Our phones are going off.
Yeah, usually when you get the increase in the lightning, you're going to see an uptick in the intensity, about 5 to 15 minutes after that happens. So we've got that tornado warning where Jeff is at. So we can go to the radar, Conrad, and you'll see that we've got, there it is. So yeah, he's in a great spot. It goes until 10:45. So we're right there by Eric, and you can see that Eric is kind of on the bottom part of the polygon. So Eric and Mayfield, Prentice are also in these in the polygon. So it's just now crossing over into Oklahoma right now from Texas. And so we need to make sure that we're taking our precautions. Same with Texola, right there along I-40. But again, Eric, and yeah, there's that big Oklahoma Tourist Center that's right there. We just need to make sure that we are also just not driving around at this point if you know people in this area, because it's at night. This would probably be a rain-wrapped tornado, I would imagine. Yep. And that would make it obviously extremely hard to see at this time. So tornado warning, not confirmed. This supercell thunderstorm that we have been tracking in Texas, now making its way into Oklahoma, was confirmed for a long time within Texas. Don't have that right now, which is good, but it still remains a storm that is capable of producing a tornado at any point. And yeah, that rotation is basically right there on the state line, heading towards the Eric area and where Jeff is at right now.
Yeah, as of right now, it's showing, that this tornado warning is in effect till around 10:45 p.m. time frame. It's, of course, capable of producing a tornado that is 4 miles southwest of Texola as of, current timing. It is moving north and east at around 35 miles an hour, so a little bit faster than that northern storm. We're still seeing very gusty winds. We're still seeing that heavy rainfall and still seeing hail potentially up to golf ball size. So now it gets very damaging for vehicles, windows, and stuff like that. And also that would roughly be right around 1.75 inches when it comes to actual hail size. So we're continuing to track this one, move at around 35 miles an hour. So let me put a timer on this, a little cone here.
And when you get that cone on there, Conrad, we'll do that, and then our northern storm is actually intensifying again. So you've got, go ahead and you can read those ones, Conrad, the times.
So times on this one, looks like Eric might be in on this. I know they might be just to the, just a little bit more to the south and east of this tornado warning right now. But let's say Eric around 10:30 p.m. time frame, Tourist Center, Oklahoma, LA, Tourist Center around 10:34 p.m., Mayfield around 10:39 p.m., Hext around 10:42 p.m., and then we are looking at Prentice around 10:45 p.m. time frame. So these are the areas that are pretty much in that track for this possible tornado that could be on the ground. It isn't a confirmed tornado, but we are seeing at least radar indicated tornado right now with this tornado warning.
Okay, let's go to our northern storm, and we'll turn it on to velocity for Vance, and you're going to see how it looks good again up there. So this is what it looks like now when you turn on Vance, and there's our reflectivity, and especially when you turn on velocity, you'll be able to see that thing is also tightened back up again.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, so south of the Gilbert area, you guys need to watch out for a tornado there too. You're in the overlapping confirmed and also the regular tornado warnings, but that looks a lot more impressive right now, especially just south of the Gilbert area. That's where things really got tightened up there. It's basically right there in the center of that polygon, and there would be a potential circulation Greer Road and north 2840 Road. So south of Gilbert by about 2.5 miles. That is where your area of that tornado is going to be. If we zoom in there, Conrad, you can see it really tight there where you've got the inbound and the outbound winds there. So it's, again, really tightened up down there just south of the Gilbert area by about 2 miles. If you could put a little bit of a time lapse on that, Conrad, for about 15 minutes, you'll be able to see that it's probably moving. Yeah, so it's moving more northeast. So Gilbert, need to make sure that we are taking our tornado precautions. It might pass to your east just a little bit, but you've got this, unfortunately, what we call that deviant motion, where it might be moving northeast, and then it starts to arc back up more to the north. And
yeah,
so
it kind of looks like it's starting to arc back up just
Yeah,
a little bit
yeah.
more to the north with the last like couple minute frame.
Yeah.
Let me do it myself with the mouse. Okay, so you could see it moving more of like a northeast trajectory, and then it does look like
yeah.
might be curving a little bit more north, just a little bit.
Yeah, so that's going to be a spot that we'll have to really watch out for it. Go to debris tracker and see if we have anything there. Probably not.
Not as much.
But we are definitely watching that one because that spun up really quickly here in the past couple of basically minute. And you've got, again, some more of that extreme showing up there with our rotation detector. So that's also really become heightened quickly for that storm.
And this is Grant County here with this tornado warning in effect
Yep.
till around 10:30. So we'll see what happens here. Would not be surprised if they keep extending this as of right now, especially since it's strengthening at the moment. But we still have around 8.5 minutes or so with this actual tornado warning that is in effect. But like we were just saying, it might get extended. We'll see what happens in the next few minutes or so.
Yep. Let's take Jeff again full screen as Jeff is on
Okay.
the move. Jeff, we've got you up. You're on the move. What's your current game plan right now?
So we're moving just on the basically the north side of Eric here, see if we can get a better vantage point of that lowering and anything else that might come out of the storm.
Got it. Have you? I know you guys are moving right now. Have you and Caleb been able to see anything different since you were parked initially?
No, we haven't.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you're just getting in a better position there. Again, he's on the north side of Eric right now, on that storm that remains tornado warned into Beckham County. So we just want to just make sure that we've got eyes on Jeff as well, just in case he's able to see something. A lot of lightning, as you can see. You've got the good lowering, as you can tell there. And are you looking south right now, or southwest right now, Jeff?
We are looking due west.
Okay, due west. Got it. Okay. So if we're going to see it, we're going to be able to see it on his shot probably within the next couple minutes. So we'll come back to Jeff, and if it gets bad, then they'll text me, and we can go back to it really quickly. But that is where Jeff is at. He's down in our southern storm. Our northern storm is definitely still the more impressive of the two, for sure. You've got now that inflow notch is going to be south of Gilbert by about a mile or so, and it's right where Conrad's got that clicked. There's also that more of that extreme showing up there with the rotation detector, and I would imagine if we were to put a little bit in the way of a lapse on that's probably moving more straight north again. Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah.
Yep. So what's happening again is we've got another deviant motion tornado warning where it's probably going to be moving. It was moving more east-northeast, then it was moving northeast, and now it's starting to curl again back up more to the north. And so Gilbert, you guys need to make sure that we are taking our precautions there because it might try to arc back towards you before it dissipates again. Let's see what it looks like on velocity with that storm. Yeah, so there it was, really good looking and tight. Okay, it might pass you by a little bit to your east there in Gilbert, but still need to make sure that we're taking our precautions by Harper Road and then 2850 Road. That's basically where this potential tornado would be. And it's moving still, I would say, probably straight north at this point. And there we go. Looks, we got a new confirmed tornado warning. Yeah, I think we did. Yep, we did. That was it. Because that was a regular tornado warning, and now that one is now confirmed. So that's now confirmed. So there is actually now a tornado probably just to the east of the Gilbert area at this point. And you've got that continuing into farther north from there too. towards
Yeah, and
Wakita.
it looks like that actual tornado warning on top, you see the red there,
Yeah.
has been changed just a little bit, but
Yep.
all of these areas still in this confirmed tornado warning right now in and around Gilbert. So this is your area where you definitely want to make sure you are in that tornado shelter. You can see that here, right? So we're seeing the strong to extreme rotation for the area, on Harper Road, closer to 2850 Road as well, heading towards Hassel Road, and then that will just continue that trajectory up north to State Highway 11. And as of right now, it does look like it's just to the east of Gilbert. But in Gilbert, you still want to make sure you are in that tornado shelter just in case, because there might be multiple areas of a rotation there. With this newest update here, it does look like now it's close to the Haskell Road here.
Put on the debris. We'll see if there's anything that shows up with debris.
Oh,
okay,
nice.
there it is.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so it is. Yeah, that makes sense why we're confirmed again. So it's on the ground. That thing is big again. It is now north of Harper Road, between Harper Road and Haskell Road. It is to the east of Gilbert. So Gilbert, you guys are very, very close. In fact, that is. Let me see how close that is. We're talking about that to be probably within a mile from you. Because it again is a very, very dangerous storm.
A mile and a half.
Yeah, a mile and a half.
1.3.
It is a big storm. It is a big storm. So again, that is a dangerous storm that we are tracking. And so Gilbert, need to make sure that we are taking our tornado precautions. Stay in your safe spot. We've been telling you to be there now for a bit. Continue to stay there as this is again a dangerous tornado on the ground. We've got it north of Harper Road, between there and Haskell Road, and then. And then you've got Highway 11 right there where Conrad's mouse was, and if we can zoom in, Conrad, back again to see what we're looking at for our north-south roads. So that's going to be. Let's see. No, it's not. There we go. North 2850, and I'm trying to triangulate it here, and then it's not showing up there for whatever reason. But yeah, we've got Haskell Road is where we've got this storm. Yeah, back up a little bit more. There you go. And so right there. So again, where there you've got the dark blue, that is where you've got the debris being picked up. This thing is very large with a dangerous tornado on the ground, moving to the northeast or so. So it's we're probably too zoomed in to pick up on anything. But again, as you can see, Clyde is kind of on the edge there. But we have what are called the deviant tornado motion, to where we do have that movement where it's kind of more northeast, and then it changes more to eventually more of a north direction. So Gilbert, you guys may have actually been spared as it kind of arced around you, but still, though, it is very, very close. We're talking about a mile away. So we need to be, again, still on our shelter there. And if you live outside of town, still, we need to make sure that we're seeking shelter, because this is a dangerous storm, and you saw just how big the area of debris was. That's an area that we have to be concerned with. Larger hail, too, showing up there, too. But it's really, though, Conrad, we got to stick with that debris area, because it's going to show the best picture of where it's at. So there it is right there. Maybe even another zone of debris showing up there by a little bit farther off to the east of there. Harper Road and 2880 Road would be also a potential area of tornado debris as well. But I do think, though, that we're probably looking at, for sure, one just north of Haskell Road, and yeah, anywhere where people live in this zone, need to make sure that we are taking our precautions. Even Wakita, especially if it's moving off more to our north, we'll be watching that very, very closely.
And then Clyde, you as well. You're not in this tornado warning right now, but it might get extended here very shortly. It's about to expire, actually. Well, this one of them is going to expire very soon, in a minute and a half. We'll see if that actually does get extended or not. But it does look like there is signs here that there's a tornado in Grant County having signs of deviation motion, turning to the left. Tornado is crossing Highway 11 south of Wakita right now.
So there it is. Yeah. So we've got, Highway 11 is that yellow line right there, and so the debris is just south of it. Probably, it's delayed by a minute or two, because that's how the radar goes. So it's probably crossing over right now, heading towards Wakita. And so we need to make sure that, again, not only in the Gilbert area, but also Wakita, that we are in our tornado safe spot, making sure that we're in our lowest level, away from the windows. Confirms tornado right now. And yes, even though the warning goes until 10:30, we're going to get a new update here probably any second. A lot of these counties will get kind of cleaned up a little bit too, which will be good. And then we're going to be looking at a better, cleaner map to show you a better idea about where that is. Yeah, so right there where that mouse is, that's where we're watching, heading northward towards Wakita, crossing over Highway 11 right now.
Still looking at this confirmed tornado tag here. We'll see what happens if if this does get extended or not. But still very very large area here, strong to extreme rotation, and this is where we're looking at this tornado being as of right now.
And
that
I know,
is the biggest area.
Go to Jeff's camera. Go to Jeff's camera. First for a second, Jeff, we got you up right now. You can see some rotation.
Yeah, so right in front of us, I don't know if it's picking up it on camera or not. In between the lightning flashes, we saw some lowering, and you could tell just briefly it was rotating left to right.
Okay, because I got it right there with some of those lightning strikes there. So it's definitely, yep, you can see it. There's a little bit of a lowering there. So Jeff is right on that storm that's down by the Eric area. So we want to make sure that we are also watching his camera shots as well. But I just want to sorry there to interrupt you there. But let's go back to Wakita and Grant County because we're watching again that tornado.
You can see a little bit of the clouds coming on down with whenever you see the lightning strikes. You can see that here on Jeff's camera to the right, kind of straight and to the right. You see that there, Jack?
Yeah.
Here, let me go back here.
Yeah, in between those lightning strikes, it's hey Jeff, if you're there, can you see anything like
to the right?
A little bit more to the right, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, whenever the lightning does strike.
Yeah, we we saw that as well.
Yeah, because I saw that and I was like, okay, we actually need to stay. Yeah, so it's going to be tough to tell. But yeah, there's just a bit of a lowering that's out there.
You see that?
Oh, yeah, there, right there, too. Yeah, yep. There's lowering right there. Yep, there it is. So definitely got a lowering there. Ooh, and it might actually be kind of far down, too.
A lot of lightning.
It's coming down.
Yeah. So we're...
Oh, yeah. Start seeing it.
So again, we are, where Jeff is right now. He is in the Eric area where that tornado warning is. And so he's, again, down in Beckham County, just a little bit north of Eric, north of I-40. That's where he's at. Yeah, he's got a good shot there, as you can see where there's that lowering.
Lots of lightning. Hey, Jeff, do you guys have a lot of hail out there right now, or is it just more lightning and rainfall?
It is mostly just lightning, a little bit of rain, and 0 on the hail.
Okay. All right, let me look at more of the reflectivity here.
And then let's go back to
okay, look at this now, Jack.
Yeah, Grant County again. Yeah, that's where we're at right now. So we'll keep Jeff going and make sure we got his shot up there on the screen. Yeah, and then we'll take it when he needs to. And Jeff, if you guys see anything, just shout it out because we're gonna just keep you up right now. But if we can go kind of to our Wakita storm in Grant County right now, where we're at. Yeah, Clyde and Wakita. This tornado warning goes until 11:15. And if you go to debris again, you can still see that there's debris still showing up there with the ball right there. So it's heading towards the Clyde area. So Clyde, you need to make sure that we're taking our tornado precautions, getting to our safe spot. As again, there is a tornado on the ground. It's going to be passing probably just to your west as it moves to the north. Wakita probably going to be passing to your east, but still though, I need to make sure that we are taking our precautions. And you can see there in the corner of your screen that Jeff's shot is showing near Eric. Again, that other tornado warned storm. That's going to be very impressive looking, really low there. I know we were kind of battling between these two storms, but this Grant County storm obviously has the debris on it, and it has the confirmed tag on it too. And that's why we're still kind of watching, both very, very closely. But again, this is a night tonight that we have to still watch out for. Again, these storms to be long-lasting, as the environment has been able to support a handful of tornadoes and a handful of supercell thunderstorms, and they've been very long-lived and long-tracked. That's where that storm is up in Grant County, and now it's making its way again towards Wakita, towards the Clyde area, and we are also watching too down in the Eric area as well for that other tornado warned storm.
Yep, and this confirmed tornado tag now is extended, till 11:15 p.m. time frame. So we still got plenty of time on this one, around 40 minutes or so at least.
Yep. Let's take Jeff full screen again, Conrad, and just we'll take it full screen. Jeff, we got your shot back up again. It still looks to be pretty impressive in between lightning strikes.
Yeah, it does. There's a bigger lowering that we're noticing as we came back over the hill. We started moving a little bit. It's still just rotating and still just up in the air right now.
Yeah, but yeah, we could tell when it was on our, we had the radar full screen and then we had you on the side, and I could tell that lowering got to be actually pretty impressive for a bit there. I want to just check in. Yeah, so it's still up in the air. You can kind of tell where the ground is when you get the lightning flashes. So it's not on the ground just yet, but there's still some lowering. Maybe looks like it's not as good looking as it did just a minute ago, but it's still there. So yeah, Jeff's kind of pulling off to the side. And yeah, in between lightning strikes, again, you can see that there is, again, that nice lowering. But yeah, we're still watching that storm down there. That's near the Eric area. That thunderstorm that he's on continues until 10:45. So he's got 10 more minutes left of that tornado warning there.
That one's not confirmed,
No,
Jack.
it's not.
So the only confirmed one we have is up north. So let me look at the reflectivity here and zoom out. So the only confirmed tornado right now in Oklahoma is the one in Grant County here,
And there's
which
still
I'm showing.
on debris. There's still an area there. Oh, you're going to Jeff's. Okay.
Jeff's. Okay, let's see. Not showing as much debris here. When it comes to rotation, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much where Jeff is at.
Yeah,
Just a little bit.
Yeah, he's definitely in the right spot there to be able to see it. And go ahead and click Conrad on the map just because it still says Grant County there. That way we can get it to, yeah, so it's, yeah, there we go. Until 10:45 is where that tornado warning is. And so we've got Jeff on there, and it's, again, there is definitely rotation that is there. Nowhere near as impressive looking, but it is still there, and he's right there where it's going to be. So let's check back in here with him in just a moment, but let's go back up to our tornado warnings up in Grant County.
Okay.
So we've got still our tornado warning that continues. We've got a couple of these polygons have been cleaned up, but we still have a number of confirmed tornadoes, and we'll go to debris up there because that one's still probably going to show that little ball there. Yep, just off to between Waukeeta and Clyde. That is where we do still have our debris signature being shown on the radar. So it's still on the ground right now. You've got a large area of rotation being shown with our radar product too. So Clyde as well as Waukeeta need to make sure that we are taking our precautions right now, as again, it is going to be passing probably between you, but with this we call it deviant motion. These storms might be moving northeast initially before they turn more north, and then they kind of occlude and they wrap around themselves. Basically, they kind of arc around, and that's what happens when you have a really strong tornado warned supercell where they can occlude like that. So the movement, it may be one way, northeast for a few minutes before it turns more of a north direction before it then kind of spins itself out. But that's what we're seeing right now between Clyde and the Waukeeta area. So again, need to make sure in both these spots that we are taking our tornado precautions, getting down to the lowest level away from the windows, because again, we are looking at the supercell to keep on chugging and continue to produce more and more confirmed tornado warnings now going into now after 10:30 at night.
Yeah, and Jack, here, it does look like it's might be weakening just a little bit, possibly. It's not showing as much of an extreme rotation detector here, but it might just be cycling through.
Yeah.
It's still, a confirmed tornado that is on the ground in and around Clyde as of right now. Let's look at the reflectivity. Still looks impressive as of right now. Just in and around Clyde, maybe just a little bit more to the north now of Clyde. Let's see. Still seeing, a strong area of rotation out there.
If you put the time lapse on the debris, you can kind of see where the tornado moves, and if you zoom out a little bit, it'll actually be a little bit easier, yeah, like right there, and then put the 15-minute lapse on, so you can see where that tornado is moving. So it was moving kind of more northeast, then it was changing more of a northeast direction. So it's going to be passing Clyde, but it's very, very close. And so again, we need to make sure that we're watching things very closely. There's also other little spots as well that are close by it too, because this area of rotation is so big. that we may have to watch out for some gust nados as well in this kind of zone too. But that is our tornado passing between the Clyde area and Wakita. And so we're still, again, noticing debris on the ground, or debris from the ground being lofted into the sky and being picked up on the radar. So again, it remains a very dangerous situation now coming in at almost 10:40 at night. Yeah,
still seeing this confirmed tornado tagged, so it is on the ground. Of course, it's going to be a little bit harder to see since it is a nocturnal storm, but we're still seeing the debris tracker here showing this clear picture of where this tornado could be right now.
And it's looking to be a little bit more broadened out right now, which means that it's probably on a weakening trend, but that's usually what happens when you have these deviant tornado types of movements, where by the time it starts to move more to the north and maybe try to curl back northwest, and it just kind of spins and putters out. But it's still showing up there easily on velocity. So that's definitely our spot to watch out for. And you can see on the reflectivity that it's, again, at the bottom there where that notch is. So it all makes sense, but that is where we're watching for our storms. I think my mic died. Yeah.
Oh, was it your mic? Okay, because I heard a little thump in there, so I wasn't sure if it was my mic or not. Yep, Jack is actually just getting some fresh batteries right now. But you could see here on our graphic where that area of rotation, where that confirmed tornado is actually on the ground right now. Let's look at the actual base velocity, and you're starting to see these green and red colors showing up here. You know, winds going towards the radar, winds going away from the radar, a little bit of that rotation. So once you start seeing these green and red colors coming together, this is where we are seeing a lot of rotation up in the atmosphere, at least in the atmosphere. But this is a confirmed tornado, so we are seeing this actually on the ground, and we are seeing you know, many areas here with strong to extreme rotation here in and around K Road and 2910 Road as well, and that is heading up a little bit more north and east as of right now, close to Latimer Road as well, with that intersection of 2910 Road, once again tracking that trajectory out there. And we are continuing to see that strong to extreme circulation right now. The hail might not be as large as that potential for, you know, the tornado that we're actually seeing right now with the heavy rainfall. And you can see that here with the velocity, right? Let's look at reflectivity. So we're still seeing a little bit of that arch here, and that is just north of Clyde right now, just north of Clyde, as we were just saying, just north of K Road as well. Currently tracking that confirmed tornado there, which is in effect till around 11:15 p.m. time frame. So still got plenty of time on that actual confirmed tornado tag right now, which is, you know, an additional 33 minutes or so. Seeing a really wide area here. I do not have new batteries. No, I'll get some now.
Let me just, I'll take over, and we can just, I'll drive it on links 2 for a sec. That way you can get fresh batteries. That way yours doesn't die on you like it did for me. So, yeah, we got links 2 up right now. And so I'll just drive that way. Conrad can get himself freshened up with some batteries. And so, again, we've got the storms, these tornado warnings all around Wakita, Clyde, and Grant County. The storm has been kind of just pinwheeling around the radar for really the past about hour or so. And so this still remains, again, a dangerous situation. In terms of our debris areas, those have now kind of faded away a little bit. As you can kind of see with the lapse, we'll put the time lapse on it. That was our storm right here, our tornado warning right there. And now it's kind of gone away. So we might be looking at this to have occluded a little bit as it traveled on that kind of initially northeast line, and eventually, like you can kind of see, it's doing that arcing motion where it trends then straight north and then it kind of peters out. So we've probably seen that occur right there with that storm. We do have a new tornado warning that is down for the storm that Jeff is on, and I'll stop that lapse on there. That's a new one that goes for Beckham County and into Roger Mills County until 11:15, and that's for the storm that Jeff is on. Now, it is down a little bit from earlier on in terms of our intensity. It's not going to be as good looking, but Jeff is still in the right spot. I got the ability to pull up his shot up here full screen, and so Jeff, right now looks like you guys are getting back into position. As the new tornado warning has been issued, has there been any new developments that you could see with that lowering that you had earlier on?
Yeah, so right now we're in heavy rain, so but we're keeping an eye on the cloud base as much as we can. We keep seeing little lowerings, but we're not sure if it's part of the circulation or what it is right now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because you're still in a good spot for it, and so, like I did just say, that the storm itself is down a bit in intensity. It has weakened a bit, but it's still definitely capable of producing one. So it's not surprising that NWS put another one out, but we'll do it from Jeff's spot because Jeff is basically where that tornado would be. And so everything's been moving about 30-ish miles or so an hour. And so you'd be looking at, Mayfield is in it right now. So again, we're taking our precautions there in Mayfield. Prentice at 10:51, New Liberty at 10:59, Grimes at 11:01, Rose Hill at 11:08, and then Berlin at 11:11 if it keeps on in that movement. But this again, moving through again a majority there of what is Roger Mills County until 11:15. So a half hour left with that one. So that's our storm that's down there. Again, in more southwest Oklahoma, where Jeff is at. And then you've got our storm that is up in the northern part of the area. We'll go on to Vance and go back up. So what you're noticing right now is I bet that's our newest tornado warning that we're looking at within. Yes, we're back on Links 1 right now. So there's a big area that's the confirmed tornado warning, and then there's the regular tornado warning that's in the middle. I'm guessing that that's actually our new tornado warning that we're watching out for. Because as we take a look at the reflectivity, that's where our notch would be. What does it look like on velocity there, Conrad? Yeah, so it's going to be that spot right there. So Clyde, you guys are now okay. Wakita, you guys are now okay. So you can come out of your safe spots now in those locations. But still, north of Clyde, that's where we have our tornado warning. And, we're getting pretty close at this point to the Kansas line. So we are not dealing with this thing for a whole lot longer. But we've got still a few more miles for it to go before it moves on out of there.
And Jack, it does look like there might be a couple of areas here, maybe even a couple of tornadoes in this. So we're seeing 2 areas here where my mouse is one. The second one's going to be here, right? Now let's look at the shear rate. And there is the 2 areas here of a rotation when it's showing up here. A little bit more on the strong side, not seeing extreme rotation with this just yet, but that could change with the newer run coming in any second now. But overall, though, there might be 2 different tornadoes in this, but as of right now, they are both north of Clyde. So if you're in Clyde, you are good to go to get out of that storm shelter. But if you are, let's say, closer to Logan Road and 2930 Road, any of that area closer to, Logan Road and 2950 Road, that's where you want to make sure you are, in that tornado shelter. Same story, let's say Logan Road and 2910 Road. Any of these areas within a 2-mile diameter, you want to make sure you are in that tornado shelter. So let me kind of, actually, let's say closer to maybe a 7-mile area here. If you are in any of these areas to the north, you want to make sure you are in that tornado shelter and prepared.
Yeah, because it's just a lot of just broad rotation on here. And again, that's what we have when we have this deviant motion type of storm. So yeah, debris is now showing up there, and you can see there's probably not really much going on there. Big hail core as well. But yeah, the storm is now moving more probably due north at this point, and so that's why it gets hard to find and pinpoint those tornadoes, because it actually might be, there might actually be like 1 or 2 of them that are actually out there right now, kind of spinning. There's a big inflow notch, but the way it's moving more kind of straight north, and so that's when it gets a little bit tough to tell. When it starts to occlude, it gets a little bit messy, and then it finally fades away. But yeah, that's what we've been dealing with this storm now for a long time this evening. Keeps on going.
It does. It's still in effect till around 11:15 p.m. like you were saying, Jack, so we still got a little bit of time, and then it's going to make its way here into the Kansas border. But overall, though, it is moving north now at around 25 miles per hour. Still seeing possibly golf ball sized hail, which does get damaging, of course. There is at least 1 tornado in there that is continuing to that north trajectory closer to Kansas. So we still got a little bit more time here in Oklahoma seeing this confirmed tornado, and then our main focus will turn more into that tornado warning that we currently have where Jeff is at. If you want to maybe talk about that, Jack, for a second here, let me.
Yep. Actually, let's pull up Jeff's shot because he's got hail on his shot. Looks like. Yeah. Yep. So Jeff is by Sweetwater.
Oh yeah.
And Jeff, go ahead. We got you.
Yeah, so right now we are getting a mixture of, I think the largest I've seen so far is probably golf ball.
Oh, wow.
But mostly it's going to be quarter size to even pea size.
Okay. Yeah, golf ball size, that's the biggest that we've really seen with any of your shots today. That's about, we've seen some even more than that farther up to the north, but yeah, it's quite impressive. How long has it been hailing for, Jeff, since you've gotten in that part of the storm?
Let's say probably about 2 minutes now.
Okay, okay. It's kind of just starting up there. And is there much wind out there that you can tell?
Where we're at right now in Sweetwater, it doesn't appear to be much wind. Right before we pulled into town, there was quite a bit.
Okay, so probably in between outflow boundaries and gust fronts where he's at. But yeah, you can even see on the from the light from his headlights there, you've got some of the hail that is still on the ground. And so all that lightning there, you can tell that that storm rain's, again, a very active storm. But it didn't look like we had, at least based on that viewpoint there, much in the way of any lowering. As you guys have been kind of moving around, has that lowering still persisted, or has it kind of gone away a bit?
I think it's gone away a little bit. We're struggling to find it right now.
Yeah, because when the lightning strikes, you can kind of tell that the cloud base is a bit higher than what it was earlier on when we took your shot a couple minutes ago. Would that be kind of correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, okay. All right, Jeff, thank you. So yeah, so there's, he's still in that tornado warning down by the Eric area in Sweetwater, but we're probably looking at that storm to, it's already kind of weakening anyways and already kind of going down a bit more anyways, but we're kind of looking at his confirmation that it might be just kind of spinning down a bit more. We'll see. So kind of, we could go back to the radar, and again, we've got the current time now is 10:50. So some of those tornado warnings and some of our severe thunderstorm warnings, I think, came to an end at 10:45. So we've got 11:15 for the storm that Jeff is on right now within Roger Mills County. And then is that severe thunderstorm warning around it? Does that also 11:15?
11:30.
Okay. All right. So we got a bit more time there. Lots of smaller areas of rotation with that one. Velocity-wise, yeah, it makes sense that Jeff can't really see much in the way of anything lowering because it's just not as impressive looking as our northern storm.
Yes.
But it is still there and it's still ongoing. And so we're going to be watching that with him. And Jeff is in a good spot. It's kind of a slow-moving storm. And he's got a good road network where he's at, so we can stay along it, and maybe even, even if he's behind it a little bit, he can get caught up and have a good vantage point. Because again, if there's a tornado warning, it would be really right where he would be at, kind of on that side of the storm.
Yeah, no, correct. But there's still some larger hail, like Jeff was saying, close to golf ball size, that is getting close to 2 inches in size. That could get damaging as well. So please be very careful on that end. But that tornado warning is in effect till around 11:15 p.m. So we still have around 28 minutes or so as of right now. But the northern confirmed tornado warning is still in effect right now, again, till around 11:15 p.m. And that one is starting to get closer to the Kansas border.
Yeah, if you go to velocity, you can still see the area of rotation there.
Yes.
That is your north 2930 road, north of Logan Road, heading towards East 50th Road. That's where we've got that area of rotation that we're watching for. So it's still there, but in terms of how far away it is from the state line, it's like 4.5 miles away. So we don't have much more time with it until it's out of our area. And I believe it is moving to the north.
Close to 4 miles, yes.
Yeah, and I believe it's moving to the north anyways. Yeah, so it's occluding in on itself again. We have that deviant motion where it's occluding in on itself again. So it's moving north and eventually it's going to spin out a bit more. There's what it looks like on the reflectivity, and there is our rotation detector. So it's, again, in the proper spot for it to be. It just probably is not going to last for too much longer before it makes its way. Well, it probably survives into Kansas, but then after that we'll see how long it goes after that. So
yeah, and you can see that in the reflectivity here. Maybe not as impressive as what it was looking earlier, Jack, but still seeing this, confirmed tornado warning that is in effect here for quite some time, and still seeing some strong areas of rotation here getting picked up. Overall, though, of course, we're continuing to see some hail involved there as well. Still seeing hail potentially over 1.5 inches, so getting close to pretty much golf ball size. But yeah, that's still seeing even a severe thunderstorm warning on the backside of it, just north of Sand Creek, is where still seeing some thunderstorms outside. But overall, though, now Kansas has issued a severe thunderstorm warning. So now this is starting to get very, very close, within 3 miles or so of the border.
Like the supercell itself that's responsible for the tornado warning, most of it is actually now into Kansas. It's just the backside of it where the actual tornado warning is. That is where we've got the tornado warning. And then, again, there's another storm that was colliding with it, and that's what you have within Grant County. And so that's where that was at. But you've got right now that area that Conrad has got right now for that area of rotation. Yeah, we're coming in, only 2 miles away from the Kansas line. So again, we are very rural in this spot of the state, but we're still watching this closely as it again remains in a tornado warning for, it goes until 11:15, but it'll be out of here before that happens. And then after that, then it really just will be that storm that Jeff will be on to see what that one will do and if it continues to hold on to its tornado warning going forward. But it remains a, if we can go to reflectivity there, Conrad, and just zoom out to show people what we're dealing with in terms of like the whole area. So zoom out even more. Yeah, so you've got that storm complex there up in Grant County, and then that's it until you're on the storm that's that Jeff is on down by Eric.
Yes, and then that tornado warning that we're seeing here in Oklahoma just got extended to Kansas. So.
Nice, yep. So yeah, then that's it. So you've got then a couple of storms that are between Taloga and Leedy, not really much anything there. And then you've got our storm that is where Jeff is at, where that remains tornado warned, but it's not as impressive looking anymore.
Yep.
Let's see what that one looks like with velocity, Conrad. Yeah, so it's not really all that good.
No.
Good down there.
Let's see the shear rate here. Not a lot of rotation either. So, I mean, unless it strengthens even more, wouldn't be surprised if they just let that warning expire. But still, you never know. It could, cycle through and strengthen, get a little bit stronger here. But overall, though, definitely not as impressive as that northern one. Not quite seeing the strong to extreme rotation detector here, where there is a lot of rotation up, at least in the atmosphere or in the ground. But this is a tornado warning that is in effect right now till around 11:15 p.m. time frame in Roger Mills County here, and also Beckham County in Oklahoma. Jeff, our tracker, is actually tracking the storm right now. If we will take Jeff's shot right now, looks a lot better when it comes to conditions outside, not quite seeing the hail like we saw 10, 15 minutes ago or so. Still seeing a lot of lightning in the background, but overall, though, it does look like more of the core of this severe thunderstorm and this tornado warning is just to the north of where Jeff is at right now.
And
so
keep Jeff's shot up there.
Okay.
Jeff, want to see what your guys' plan is going now with the storm.
So we're just dipping a little bit south to get around the southern part of the storm and get into basically the safer part of the storm. So we're not going through the bear cage.
Got it.
And then we're going to cut back east on it.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so they're going to go south and east to get ahead of it, and then they'll be able to intercept it again, and they'll be in prime position to see if there's any tornado warnings that would be reissued on that thing going forward. So our current time is 10:57 right now. We are still tracking a number of tornado warnings that are in place. We can go back to the radar, Conrad. And so you've got the storm that Jeff is on, and it's heading towards Grimes, Rose Hill, Berlin. You guys need to make sure that we're watching this thing really closely. It's not as impressive looking, but it still does have some areas of some small rotation that we're watching out for. But it's nowhere close to the strength as what our supercell was across the northern part of the state. But still, again, Grimes, Berlin, Rose Hill, Dempsey, you need to guys to make sure that we're taking our precautions and watching this storm very closely and seeking shelter because, again, we've got a number of small areas of rotation that we're watching. Some hail also showing up there, too. And, there's going to be probably a lot of gusty winds. You might still be on Vance, too. If you try to go to Frederick, that might change what that looks like. Yeah, I mean, there's not anything really there from a tornado standpoint anymore, which is good. Just some small areas of rotation.
Weak areas of rotation right now.
Let's go to our northern storm, Conrad, just make sure that one is out of the area. And then we can then focus in with Jeff and Caleb then in that storm. So, yeah, we've got... Okay, so I bet that's pretty much all gone now. So yeah, it does say it goes until 11:15, but if you turn on the velocity, you'll be able to see that that tornado warning. Well, it's might actually legit be like right there on the state line. But again, you can see it's moving into Kansas right now, and really isn't going to be much of an issue going forward.
Yeah, right on the border right now.
Yep, right there. So, and again, because of the the deviant motion of these tornadoes, where they moving and kind of curling to the north, it makes sense that we've got 2 spots of rotation that are being depicted there. Sometimes it just gets a little bit messy when that does happen, and it all kind of breaks apart before it's then able to re-intensify. We've seen that pattern happen actually a number of times over the course of our evening this evening. But now it'll be Kansas's problem as it makes its way into the southern part there of Kansas.
Jack, this was a long tornado. We've been alive for over 3 hours now.
Yeah,
So over 3 hours of seeing this tornado on the ground. It's been confirmed for over 2 hours now, and it's still a confirmed tornado here. Right about to cross the border into Kansas, where they're seeing that tornado warning. So this is a long-lived storm.
Yeah, this supercell has been very impressive.
Absolutely.
And all the more interesting is considering the fact that it's actually formed to the north of where they kind of really should be, because we got Jeff down south where more of the storms are at, and we thought that was really going to be really the target area for most of the storms to develop, and they did develop there. It just took a long time to get going, and this one popped up on a boundary, and then it just took off, and then we've been just dealing with it as a tornado warning ever since. Ever since. It's not really surprising that we had a long track supercell thunderstorm, because the conditions today definitely supported it. It was just kind of in a different direction. Yeah, you can see that by where it says Osage Road right there. Again, you've got the, now it's moved into Kansas. I bet now it's in Kansas now at this point. Just about there. Yep, there we go.
Just across the border.
So we're really not going to be watching that one anymore. Let's just take a look at what it looks like on the reflectivity first before we just totally dip out of it. So yeah, there's still definitely another supercell on the backside of that by Sand Creek, Gibbon, and Wakita. It's in the severe thunderstorm part of the storm there, but that's nowhere near as impressive looking as what the storm was when it was going into more of Kansas.
Yeah, I think the confirmed tornado here in the northern part might actually get canceled out soon.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be up for another 15 minutes or so, especially since the tornado possibly it has already crossed into the Kansas border here. So we'll see if that does get canceled out within the next several minutes or so. But as of right now, still seeing that confirmed tornado attack here till 11:15.
Go to the west where there's the severe thunderstorm warnings, and turn on velocity there, and to see if we got anything to worry about down there. No, we don't. Yeah, no. So there's like a little bit in the way of some like minor rotation, but it's all very, very broad. It's over a big area, and so that will also not be much of an issue for too much longer either, because again, that's also moving to the north into Kansas as well. So
yes, it's not even that far out. Let's see how far it could possibly be. A few miles.
Yeah, so we're looking to be pretty good up there in the northern part of the state within Grant County right now, which is good to see. Let's go down now to the storm that we had with Jeff, just because I think at this point we can probably let that one go, and we'll keep checking back in occasionally.
Yes.
You've got a tornado warning that's now been kind of trimmed up a bit more for Roger Mills County until 11:15. For Grimes and Rose Hill, that one probably not very good looking either from a velocity standpoint.
No, not seeing too much when it comes to rotation detector here. So I don't know if this tornado warning might get extended or not. We'll see.
Yeah, I would be actually kind of surprised if it would or not.
Reflectivity, I mean, it does look like it does have a good amount of energy, a lot of rainfall, some hail as well. Still seeing that hail in and around Rose Hill right now. Maybe not the largest hail, but it could still be damaging, especially if you're on the road. But overall, though, still seeing this tornado warning that is in effect right now. And you can see that hail swath pretty much where Jeff was at. Jeff is at right now. He did see that hail, 15, 20 minutes ago or so. But we are continuing to track this tornado warning right now in and around Rose Hill, Grimes as well, just to the west of Berlin, where we're continuing to track that. There is a few areas of some weaker, rotation out there, but nothing when it comes to extreme, not like what we saw with that northern confirmed tornado warning. That one was on, possibly on the ground for over 3 hours. We've been live doing coverage on that one for a long time.
And like the debris ball on that was big.
Oof.
Like that's probably gonna be a pretty strong tornado, pretty wide tornado that went through.
Once it gets ranked, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, a majority of Major County and also Grant counties too when it was doing that. So again, we still have our tornado warning until 11:15. Technically, the northern storms also have their tornado warnings until 11:15 as well, but those are now moving into more of Kansas at this point. So we still continue to watch that storm that we have, and also there's a severe thunderstorm warning that does surround it as well, just because the hail and the wind potential associated with this storm. But really, though, as you can tell, there's not much in the way of rotation, unlike with our northern storm where it had a whole bunch of it.
See how the debris is looking?
Yeah, it's what radar are you on right now?
Frederick.
There you go. Yeah, so don't really have anything out there right now with that, which is good, because I think though that we definitely have seen at least a handful of tornadoes out there today for sure. We'll wait for the damage surveys to get done over the next few days, but we definitely, with the confirmed tornadoes, we probably looked at a handful of them, of which a couple of them may have been actually some long-tracked ones too.
Yes.
Especially with the Deviant tornado movement too, made it very strong. I bet some of those tracks would be very interesting when those come out. So again, hope everybody was able to stay safe out there and take these warnings very seriously, because especially that northern storm was dangerous for sure.
Let's go check that one out right now. Let's see what is.
Just double check
yeah,
it.
we were right. They did cancel out the confirmed tornado on that. Let me change this to advance. Yep. Yeah, so that tornado did actually cross into the Kansas border, so it is in Kansas now. The confirmed tornado tag has been canceled off. It is 11:05 p.m. time frame here. It was supposed to get canceled. It was supposed to expire around 11:15 p.m., but it did have a little bit more of that northern trajectory, and it did cross the border a few minutes ago. And like we were thinking here, it did get canceled out. So now we're just seeing that severe thunderstorm warning in effect till around 11:15 p.m. time frame for Grant County here. Just got trimmed down, which is a good sign here. But yes, another, let's say, 10 minutes or so with the severe thunderstorm warning here in Grant County. And then that will be all in Kansas.
Yep, and then we're just looking at the one storm then coming in out of Texas where we've got it, where Jeff is at there. That's for, again, portions of Beckham County and Roger Mills County. Just a little bit there to the south of Cheyenne, but that tornado warning has been looking like that now for a while. Let's take a look at what it looks like on velocity. Zoom into that one, Conrad, if you wouldn't mind. And yeah, so you were in, and if you wouldn't mind turning on
just change
Frederick.
the radar here.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not as impressive looking as what the other storms were doing for sure, but there's still some rotations broad by the Rose Hill area. But we've got also just a lot smaller of a storm too. This is a lot smaller than what the northern storm was when it was at its peak, and it still is. If you want to put like a little bit of a lapse on that one, go like 15 minutes or a half hour. It's just not as impressive looking, and it kind of really never has been as impressive looking. But you saw where Jeff was. I mean, he was basically right there the entire time for where that thing was supposed to be. So we could see a lot of lowerings on his camera shot at times. And right now, I do think though that any tornado warning would be possible is actually now kind of in that more northeast corner of the current polygon. You can kind of see where the lighter red and the darker red is. That's going to be kind of in that northeastern corner of the polygon. That would be probably our best chance of seeing anything, and that would be likely if there's any extension of a tornado warning, it would be there, because that's also where there's a bit of a notch that shows up to just again to the north of the Berlin area.
Still just north of Rose Hill as well, in and around Cheyenne, even though that tornado warning is not quite in Cheyenne right now, but we are continuing to see that actual tornado warning. It is radar indicated, so we're not seeing it being confirmed, but we are seeing a couple of areas here with some rotation getting close to strong here. Weak, yeah, mostly just weak rotation all over the area.
Yeah,
which is a good sign.
But you can definitely tell though where it's favoring. It's in that far northeastern part of the polygon. So if it's going to get extended, it would be out from that point right there, east of Highway 283. And it would be heading towards the Herring area, but again, this is all pretty weak rotation that we're currently watching right now. So we're just kind of having to pick at straws to really kind of see where that is at. But again, there is still some rotation. It's quite broad, but the overall storm itself is nowhere near as impressive looking, even though it is still in a pretty good area. We just don't think that at this point it might be moving into more of the worked over atmosphere from earlier on today from those storms that we've already seen and been tracking. So it might be encountering a bit more of an unfavorable environment for it to continue on for too much longer. But we'll see. We'll see. We're waiting for what the National Weather Service wants to do with that one. We still have 6 more minutes left of that tornado warning for Roger Mills County. And as you can see, besides a couple of storms that are off to the northeast from there, that's it. Our big complex of tornado warnings and supercells in Grant County, that's now into Kansas. So this is really going to be about it that we're watching out for going forward into our night tonight.
Yep, the only actual tornado warning is that one down south in Oklahoma, but we do still have this severe thunderstorm warning here in effect for Grant County. Still looks, I mean, pretty decently impressive, but now it is in the Kansas territory.
Yep.
Still seeing a good amount of hail. Let's see when it comes to shear rate. A little bit of rotation popping up here, a little bit, you know, strong rotation here just to the east of Gibbon here. But overall, though, just a severe thunderstorm warning with that one, not quite seeing a tornado warning here in Oklahoma besides that southwestern.
Yeah, because I mean, like, it is just another supercell that was following closely behind our big supercell. So it makes sense that there is some rotation being picked up, but it's just all kind of spinning and occluding because it just got really messy there with all the other storms that were in place. And so, yeah, there is still rotation that you can see there. And, you know, there is still a little bit of a notch north of Waukeeta heading towards the Gibbon area. That's where that is. But it's so ragged that it's not going to be able to really do much. And again, we're talking about it to being within 2 miles of the Kansas line again. So this is also, if it does become something more interesting, it would be gone before it really got into be anything too impressive looking.
Seeing a few areas here, you know, 3 areas of summer rotation. So, but it is very, very close to the border. Let me point this out. A few miles, you know, within 4.5, 5 miles or so. Besides the one that's closer to Waukeeta, that one's closer to 8 miles before it goes into the Kansas border. So we still got a little bit of time with this one, but overall, they'll have 4 minutes with the severe thunderstorm warning here on this actual cell here. Zooming it out a bit more.
And it sounds like they're going to cancel at 11:15 our tornado warning as well for where Jeff is at. So let's zoom into it, and then we'll just take Jeff's shot and see where he's at, because again, he's in a good location to view something. And
so he's just to the south of that actual tornado warning.
Yeah. Jeff, we got your shot up right now. As you guys are driving, can you see anything out the side windows, just in case of any lowering?
Yeah, we're getting a couple lowerings, one right off my left shoulder, and then one about what we would call the camera's looking right at it, but it's technically like the 10, 11 o'clock, the northeast part of the storm.
Yeah, and so we're going to, NWS is going to lose the tornado warning, it sounds like, on that. I know you're seeing some lowering. Does it look more impressive than it did a few minutes ago, or is it still about the same?
I would say about the same.
Okay. Well, that will be our only storm that we do have to track. So you guys will be on that one and just kind of track it eastward as it makes its way closer. You know, we'll see how it goes in terms of its location and its movement. But kind of if you could go back to the radar, you've got the again, it remains tornado warned, but we've got 3 more minutes left on it where they're going to take it away. But it's going to be, again, any area of rotation, which would be kind of by the Rose Hill and Cheyenne areas between those. And so Jeff is down by Berlin, getting, again, into good position to check it out. But he's eventually going to try to make its way eastward to kind of track it and see which way it goes going forward. But it's got only 2 more minutes left of our tornado warning. And like I said, the National Weather Service is going to let this one go. But, yeah, you've got that area of rotation. If it would be there, it'd probably be right there on the actual polygon itself, just north of Berlin. But even that looks worse than what you just had a few minutes ago in that spot too.
Not much rotation at all. So not surprised they're actually just letting this one expire and not continuing this tornado warning here. But overall, though, not seeing too much when it comes to, you know, the base velocity not showing up as a lot of, green-red colors here next to each other, which is a good sign for us. Overall, though, now looking at the shear rate, same story.
Yeah,
Not
and they even
quite
just
seeing
trimmed
much.
that severe thunderstorm warning too, and the polygon is staying there because they're going to cancel it here in a few minutes. So
2 minutes,
yeah, so what we'll do is at 11:15 we'll send it back to programming, and then we'll just kind of watch the storm over the next couple hours as it still is moving off generally to the northeast again. It's still got some strength to where it can produce some large hail and damaging winds, but it is losing its just overall good look with its tornado aspect, and it's again moving into spots that have already seen storms passing on through. And so because of that, there might be some more worked up and worked over atmosphere that it's encountering to where it can't really sustain a strong strength anymore. So we will be, like I said, we'll go to programming here at 11:15. If we get a new tornado warning out of this storm, it would be for this storm because it's basically the only one now that we have left. And we'll break back in, but until now, do appreciate everybody watching and tuning in. Hope you stayed safe this evening as we've had severe weather. And again, we have more severe weather in the forecast for tomorrow as well. So make sure that you tune in for us during the morning as well as online and social media for all the latest updates on that potential again as we're looking at more severe weather possible for our Friday.